You have started.
It started?
Yeah, you started.
Okay.
Just gotta see. Okay. All right.
Everybody's things muted.
Yeah, I muted mine.
Mute your cell phone, Pastor.
Pastor, mute your cell phone.
I don't muted at church.
Oh, no.
Unless I know to call me.
He was texting.
They call you Reverend or they call you Doctor? They call you Pastor. What they call you?
80.
There you go.
AD.
Thank you.
That's it? Okay,
Thank
well,
you.
excuse me.
All right, the music's gonna start. All right. This is 411 Sports Talk Radio on 411radionetwork.com. I am the Benchwarmer sitting in for myself. I always sitting in for somebody. I gotta have somebody sitting in for.
Oh, testing.
Y'all should be up and running.
Nope.
There we go.
There you go.
Testing.
There we go.
See, we up and
Testing.
We good to go.
I don't hear
You
mine.
do a mic check.
Testing.
Huh?
Testing. There it is.
Yeah, there we go. See, I'm trying to learn this. You can we hear you?
Mic check.
There we go.
Mic check.
Mic sounds nice. Check one.
Yep.
That's
I already know.
Yeah, that's back in the day. Yeah. All right, I'm sitting here. The benchwarmer sitting next to me is the security. What's happening?
It's happening.
I gotta get used to security. That's security.
Security?
That's security.
Security.
That is security.
He didn't give me the name. The other show host gave me the name.
That is security. Sitting next to
Because
you.
I was making sure the music was right, Pastor.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want no,
Yeah.
hibbity hobbity, booty shaking,
Give me that.
Oh.
Hey, you know they
Where was that?
cursing and all that
Ain't
stuff.
nothing wrong.
Some churches are doing that
Sure.
now.
I know, but I wanted to cut out all the cursing and all that stuff. you know.
Someone walking down the aisle twerking and stuff like that.
Okay.
Sitting
the
next to
church.
my right, to my immediate right, or my second right, is Professor. What's going on, sir?
Everything is everything.
Yeah, he got you
Better
got
get this ball rolling
Yeah, I
for the
know.
next
You
3
ready?
hours.
yeah, you
You
got that
heard
cowboy
me.
shirt. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
You
tear
heard
up
me, did
I
tonight.
heard you.
You heard me.
Next to my immediate, and another immediate right is the doctor.
In the building.
the
Rock
building.
steady, rock steady.
Doctor, yeah. And then across from me, tried and true, Facebook poster.
Avid Facebook Live watcher
Yes, it is AD. And he
and
said,
commenter.
yeah, he said, I'm coming down. I'm just coming over. Don't worry about it. I'll be there.
Hello, everybody.
AD.
What's going on, AD?
Welcome.
As I would normally say on Sunday morning, let the church say amen.
Amen.
Let the church say amen
Oh,
again.
we got to go to church tonight.
Just make sure you bring the tithing over this way.
Yes.
It all depends on who collected.
Well, we'll put security. Now we can't put security at the door.
I'm good with money. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll never see that tithe.
You won't.
See?
Sure won't.
Because she
You
will
under
say
lock
that
and
that's
key.
what that is.
Yeah,
Thank
okay,
you.
okay.
She's good with money.
Thank you.
All right, so how's your weekend, doctor?
It was excellent. I did a walk for lupus,
okay.
supporting a dear friend who lost a relative, and 2 others are battling it. And so we out there trying to raise awareness and to the cause. And so we had an excellent weekend. Excellent.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, Professor.
Weekend was pretty good. With family, with my bad kids, and
They're not bad.
Saturday was pretty much
Mischievous.
resting and cooking, and Sunday was family time and a bunch of church, and that's pretty much it.
Professor, you cooked?
Yes.
What you cook?
All right.
I know I
Professor.
cook. I just don't tell y'all.
You
Why
burn?
not?
Peanut butter and jelly is
Wait, and grilled cheese either.
I do. The
Eggs,
the wife is the
eggs.
main cooker, but on some days I tell her to sit down somewhere
Hey
because she
man,
does. I mean, she
when we gonna get an invite to your cooking?
to my cooking.
No,
Yes.
no.
I'll let you know soon. I do cook. You didn't know that?
We need to let the wife.
Wow.
Man, been over to the house
I
yet.
do cook.
We need to let the wife give us the invite.
So it's all good.
Your weekend.
It was great. We had people over for the show. We did the recording of Feel the Jazz,
Yeah.
and we had TJ Robinson, the Power Hour, and we went to the Toyota Music Factory. Had a grand opening this weekend, so we went and hung out over there. It was really nice.
AD.
Very nice.
Wonderful weekend. Really very inspiring service Sunday morning, and just great. Just a blessing.
All right.
Right.
What
What about you?
Huh? Who, me?
Yeah, how was your weekend?
I didn't have a weekend.
Boy.
I skipped right over it. I went from Friday to Monday.
I believe you too. I think you was a zombie.
Went from Friday to Monday. Forgot what happened the weekend. Some news. Michigan company sues LeBron James over shop talk concept.
Shop talk concept.
So yeah, he's got a digital media platform, and this Michigan company saying he stole their platform.
Oh Lord.
Mhm.
Here we
Here
go.
we go.
Yeah. And then Joe
Yeah.
Embed wants to green light the
Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I flunked.
There you go.
I flunked reading. I ain't saying.
Butchering people's names.
But he wants to
Always.
green light to play. He's ready to play. So
Yeah, he can't sit no longer.
no, he sure can't with that loss that they just took. So he's
Mhm.
ready to get in. Birthdays.
Oh boy.
Hold on, let me get this. We got a call in too.
What?
Birthdays, yeah, birthdays. Rapper DNA is 27.
DNA?
Yeah.
What happened?
No, I got a call.
I was looking at that screen. I noticed that you can kind of see half of him, but there's a lot of space on her, right?
Oh, okay.
So I just might want to make sure she was scooting over.
All right, we're you there?
Who that?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
You got birthdays?
Yeah, we got birthday. Oh, you there? Okay,
Hold up.
there we go. Hey, John, you there?
Hello.
Yeah, this is John Wooten. We got John Wooten on the line.
Hi,
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Wooten.
How you doing, John? Okay, he'll get it together.
Yeah, get it together.
Okay, so let's keep going. Rapper Redman is what?
You threw me off with Redman. Redman.
Red
Yeah.
Man.
You still butchering.
Boy.
Yeah.
Red Man is 51.
Redman. 44.
51.
Anybody?
48.
48.
He's 48?
Yeah, Dwayne Casey.
Assistant head coach.
Yeah.
51.
Okay, anybody?
53.
Anybody? Throw some guesses.
55.
You got anything?
55.
61.
You can't guess the same as me. You have to guess something
Okay.
different.
I was off.
Kimberly.
I said it.
Kimberly
I said it
Elise.
first.
Kimberly Elise.
Kimberly
Oh,
Lee.
I
love
love
her.
her. Ooh, especially in Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Kimberly Elise.
34.
That was the best. 37.
I would say she is probably around 49.
Ooh.
I would say 39.
51.
Are you kidding
Oh,
She is.
Are you
kidding me? Yeah, she is.
Girl, black don't crack.
Don't crack
It
it off.
don't crack.
She looks
That girl
amazing.
looks
Courtney
good.
Kardashian.
Oh, Lord.
Now, she
Tomorrow's
might be about
Kardashian.
80.
Tomorrow's her birthday.
Courtney. Let's see.
She
Courtney.
look old.
Who?
I don't know how old
You
she
talking about
is.
the mama?
Courtney Kardashian. No, this is one of the
The
kids.
one of the-
This one of the kids.
42.
So I'm going to say 46.
52.
38.
Oh, way off. 38, yeah.
Wow.
38,
She
okay.
looks way
Well, I'm just
older
going off
than
what you
that.
said.
And last
She
but not
looks
least,
old.
Miguel Cabrera.
Who the heck is that?
He's a baseball player. I'm gonna say he's 25.
Dang, I don't have no age.
27.
29.
26.
34.
34.
I don't know
Wow.
who it is. So
All
You
right.
skipped
I
one.
tell you.
They talked about her on the news today.
Who
Well,
that?
her birthday is in 2 days.
Who that?
Are you familiar with Charlotte Ray Lubotsky?
No, sir.
Okay,
Oh,
so
wait.
birthday
Is
is
that
over.
Wait. That's not the lady that was on Facts of Life.
That is her.
Yes.
Her birthday is in 2 days.
Oh,
Yes,
Miss Garrett.
I loved
Yes.
her.
That's Miss Garrett.
Yeah.
She was diagnosed with bone cancer in 2017.
She's like
She's
80.
fighting right
She's
now.
like 84.
Really?
Mm-mm.
I love Mrs. Garrett.
She will
I
be
love that show.
in
I
one of my
was too.
guess.
I say 84.
84.
79.
81.
Oh, 86.
Anybody else?
79.
Y'all way off. She'll be
60-something?
93 on Thursday.
Okay, she's trying to hang up there with Betty White.
All right.
Yeah, she is still kicking it.
That is the.
I love
Miss
Mrs.
Garrett.
That is-
Oh, she was the bomb. Oh, her discipline. She was great.
Well, she was.
Her discipline.
Was she better on Facts of Life or Different Strokes?
Ooh.
Ooh.
She was better on Facts
Facts of Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that was her
She
prominent
was
role.
funny on Different Strokes.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
was
she was
funny.
funny.
She was up front on Facts of Life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was a good. I liked her as a headmaster.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. John, you there?
Okay. He had enough.
He said, "Y'all talking about stuff I don't."
I
have
do
nothing
also
to do with."
real quick want to share, and
Hey, Casey.
it broke 10 minutes ago that First Lady Barbara Bush just passed
That's
away.
She
Oh,
did.
did she?
Yeah, she's
She
gone.
gave an announcement yesterday that she was gonna stop
Yeah,
all her treatment.
she went ahead and stopped and just
So
very
let's
She knew
complicated.
it was her time.
well, let's do this right here then. Let's take a quick break,
Okay.
and we come back. We're gonna get into the trivia news of the day. If John calls back, we'll just talk to John Wooten. John Wooten is a former athlete for the Cleveland Browns. He blocked for Jim Brown and the Express.
Oh
Ernie
man, we
Davis.
watched that the other day.
Ernie Davis.
Ernie
Yeah,
Davis.
he didn't block for. He wasn't able to block for Ernie Davis because Ernie Davis was only able to wear the uniform.
Yeah.
But we'll get back into that. So this has been 411 Sports Talk Radio, 411radionetwork.com. We will be right back.
Let's roll.
Back.
All right. Push past.
Like 97, 96, 97, 98.
That's so fast. She just made the announcement yesterday.
Yeah, it's a good.
It was like COPD on at the same time.
Take it off and hold it.
I was never fixing that. Keep her mouth. She got tired. She got tired. As soon as she said, comfort her, she's gone. There's nothing on that.
So that's good. She, let her family.
They was married for 73 years. I'm looking, and he and his husband not in too good shape. either,
Right,
so
right. I thought he would have gone before her.
Me too.
Yeah.
She
And
was
the
taking
other
care of
dude-
him.
Bad shape at one point.
But see, she was taking care of him. Who was taking care of her?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like my parents. My mom would take care of my dad, and my mom went down before my dad.
That's what I was telling him the other day. I said, look, sir, I ain't trying to go down before you. You could learn how to take care of yourself. I didn't say that.
Discipline.
I told him I was taking care
Hey.
but he's wearing me out.
Hey, I know what to find you.
Well, no, what I said was he needs to take better care of himself. And I'm going to take care of him, of course.
My brother.
I know. I'm talking to him
Tell
right now.
Ray, I told him to get a
He
new
on
phone.
the wrong radio station. And that's the blues station. He needs to be on full radio.
I told Ray to give her that flip phone. Give her no phone.
Make sure you got the app too.
He got the app.
Okay, he just now.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. He called and said that he wasn't able to.
Yeah, but he on the blues station. He on the wrong station. All right, y'all ready? Let's do this right here. let's get into Dez.
Now?
Well, yeah, 'cause John had called.
Okay. If you don't want to call him back,
Yeah.
is he okay?
You know what I'm saying? That's too young for that.
No, my mom used to listen to Lakeside and Function and Marvin Gaye like clockwork. I had no choice. I played my Barbie dolls to Lakeside.
Yeah, I'll text him, see if he's calling.
I remember you now. I remember you. He was doing a lot of talking last week. He said he wanted to come on there.
Yeah,
I
that's
remember you,
him.
man. I saw his name right there in his profile picture. The done I knew who he was.
Holiday Inn.
Okay, you and Philly must have hung out a little bit this weekend.
All right, let's come on back in, and when it calls, we're just gonna jump in on it. And before that, we're gonna.
Okay.
All right,
And the fourth quarter is what time?
that's him right here.
Okay, so we're gonna hold off on that then.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. We are back. I'm trying to do 12 hands at one time. All right, we're back with 41 Sports Talk Radio on 41radionetwork.com. I am the Benchwarmer still sitting in. We have on our phone right now, we have John Wooten. John, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, partner. How are you?
I'm good. I appreciate you calling in. Wanted to talk to you about number one. First of all, let me introduce who John Wooten is. John Wooten, your biggest claim to fame, what people always say, is that you blocked for Jim Brown, but you had other things you got going on, right?
Well, I'm not embarrassed or have a problem with that one way or the other. I'll accept that. That's not a bad honor.
No, that's a great honor. You helped him get all his rushing yards.
Well, I'm not sure that we had a whole lot to do with that, but anyway,
Okay.
it was a good time.
So you also was the player personnel for the Dallas Cowboys for 17 years,
Yeah,
right?
16 years, right.
16 years.
Mm-hmm.
So who'd you first come under?
Came under Tex Ram, Gil Brandt, and Coach Landry.
Okay. And so you did some of the your star players that you brought in, or the ones that you seeked out and said, okay, these guys are gonna be good for us.
Well, let's start with Tony Dorsett, Aikman. Who else would I say were star players at that time? We had some good football teams.
Did you help orchestrate that trade with Dorsett? Because I know the Cowboys were picking kind of further down, and you guys moved up with Seattle and traded 3 picks to get the second pick. How did that go? How did that come about?
That came about primarily because of the relationship that we had with Dick Mansberger, who had been one of the personnel guys here for the Cowboys for a number of years, that went out to Seattle to run their personnel department when Seattle came into the league. There are probably things that I'm really, really happy with, and that is the trade that we made with Minnesota for Herschel Walker.
Oh yeah.
That gave us the opportunity to help the Cowboys turn their franchise around, because out of that trade with Herschel Walker came Emmett, Woodson, Kevin Smith, Alvin Harper. All those guys came out of that trade with the Vikings for Herschel Walker.
So was that one of those, let's all sit in the room and you and Jimmy and Jerry talking and say, okay, how who do we need to get rid of, or who do we need to pawn off to get a better stock?
Well, the thing about it is that, and I'll give Jimmy credit, he pretty much let me have my way in terms of being able to call people, create deals that we knew were going to be in the best interest of the Cowboys. And that, when we called Minnesota, we were really calling to try to get a linebacker by the name of Howard, David Howard, with the Vikings, who was from Long Beach State. That's who we were really calling about. And Mike Lynn, who was the GM at the time, was in the room there with Jerry Rakow and Frank Gilliam, and he brought up, we got to have Emmett. What do you want for Emmett? And that's how it went about.
Wow. So that was actually, that's considered one of the biggest trades in NFL history. One of the best trades. So we were like almost like 10 people trades, because you had 4 guys.
Well, not only did we get players out of that trade, but we got draft choices.
Right.
See, we ended up with 3 number ones out of that trade, including Emmett.
Yeah, and that's unheard of.
The way Emmett fits into it is that with the trade of Herschel, in the 3rd year of that trade, we got Minnesota's 21st pick. And we traded that 21st to Pittsburgh to move up to 17. And that's where we picked Emmett with that 17th pick.
Did you know?
So you got to be used as part of the Herschel Walker trade.
Did you know how great Emmett was going to be? Or did you figure? Because I remember Joe Brodsky said that, because you had another running back, I forget, from San Francisco. And the comment was that he'll steal your breath away, but Emmitt Smith will steal your breath away and won't give it back to you.
Well, we had a scout by the name of Walt Jaworski that worked. He was out of Tennessee, but he worked at Southeast, which is what we call Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, all those schools. And Walt Jaworski, in my opinion, is one of the best scouts. Now, I'm not saying executive administrator, I'm just talking about scouts.
Right.
And he was totally strong on the image. All the way, say, hey, he's not a big speed guy. This guy can play at this high level. And because we trusted his judgment, we, without any type of provocation or whatever, we went after that pick with Pittsburgh to trade up to get it, because we knew that Emmett was going to slip down because he's not a speed guy.
Right.
But we thought he could play at a high level, and it speaks for itself what kind of player he became.
Yeah. Because that same year you had Blair Thomas also that came out with second running back in the draft. So
say it again.
You had Blair Thomas in that same year. He was second running back picked in the draft. So was there any question if it came down to Blair or Emmett, you would go with Blair? I mean, you would go with Emmett Smith?
There was no question. I doubt if we would go to Blair. The guy that we really wanted in that draft is the linebacker Francis from Baylor.
Yeah.
That's who we really wanted. But after he went off the board about the 3rd or 4th pick, then we set our attention to Emmett.
Emmett was the target. Okay, so now you're still active in the NFL, aren't you?
Say it again.
You're still active in the NFL, aren't you?
My activity in the NFL has to do with first part of the lines in what we call the Rooney Rule.
Mm-hmm.
That my whole activity is trying to get opportunities for coaches, particularly head coaches, front office executives, is where we spin all our wheels at that area.
Has that grown, or is there still a stagnant from getting black head coaches or executives in those positions? Is there still a lot of work to be done, or have you seen the growth of it?
We've been very happy with the growth of the last 15 years, and if you watch the league the last 15 years, you can readily see the changes that have taken place as it relates to minorities. Is there a lot of work to be done? Yes. The ideal thing is to be able to come to 1 year where you actually, you don't see the word minority, you just see the word coaches and so forth. So as long as they're using the word minorities or African Americans, then you know that we're not where we need to be.
Right. Okay. So you're trying to take that out and just say this is a coach, this is an executive.
Well, Cedric, when you notice that they don't say black quarterback, African American quarterback, they just say quarterback.
Right. Right.
So you've seen the country grow, you know.
Uh-huh.
Now, it hasn't gone to the fact that they still refer to head coaches and front office executives as minorities and so forth.
Right.
So we're not where we need to be.
But we'll get there. One last question. We're in Dallas, and the news around the corner is Dez Bryant and him leaving and everything. What do you think about his comments? Or were you able to see his comments, what he said about the Cowboys and their Garrett guys, and he's not a part of a Garrett guy?
I know that just watching Dez and over the years, and I'm always very upset about what has happened. But what I'd love to see him do is say, hey, this is a business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
We've all been cut. We've all been fired. And that's going to happen to
Right.
every single person. If you stay long enough, you're going to get fired or cut or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But the thing that I would love to see him do is say, hey, I'm going to put my shirt back on, button up my tie, and I'm going to go find me a job with somebody else in this league where I can show them I still got plenty of fuel in the fire.
Mm-hmm. And that's what he should be doing.
It's just that it's simple. Just that simple.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Because, like you said, everybody's been in that position before. Even those that are not in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
We've been let go from our own jobs before, or told to leave from our own jobs. But so, yeah, just button up the shirt and go get another job. Well, John,
That's if he wants to play.
that's if he wants to play, yeah.
Right.
And not be a baby. John, I appreciate you coming on. Where else what's going to be the next move for you? What are you working on? Anything big or important? Or?
Well, right now we've made some recommendations to the Rooney Rule as it relates to what happened at Oakland this past year. That I'm not at all pleased with. So we've made some recommendations on strengthening and tightening the Rooney Rule so that what happened there at Oakland can't happen again.
Yeah,
So we'll see how it comes out.
yeah, because they had John Gruden in their eyesight, and that's all they went after was John Gruden, right?
Well, we don't care about that. We just don't like the method that was used. We thought, and I'll say it very openly, we felt that Mark Davis had crossed the line, and we felt that he should stand up and say that I crossed the line. And you know, we got sense enough. I doubt if there's anybody in this league who believes that that deal wasn't done before the season was over.
Oh yeah, it was. It was done way before the season was over.
And that we want to work. What we're proposing is a way that should never happen again.
Mm-hmm. But the reason why it happened because he wasn't actually a coach for anybody. He was on broadcast. So
it doesn't have anything to do with it, Cedric.
Okay.
Cedric. Doesn't have anything to do with it.
All right. Well, we appreciate you coming on, John. I would love to get you back on again once the season gets closer. Are you going to be at the NFL draft, or are you going to watch it from the house?
I'm going to watch it from the house.
Smart man.
All right. Well, John, I appreciate you coming on. Hope to get you back on again.
All right, partner, you got my number.
I got you.
Good evening.
Thanks a lot. You have a good
All
one.
righty.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
That was the great John Wooten.
The great John.
Great
Wooten.
John Wooten. Yep.
All right.
Gave us some insights on what they're gonna do with this Oakland. Hopefully they do something with this Oakland deal. You remember what happened?
Vividly.
Well, they wind up hiring John Gruden, right? But they didn't hire. I mean, they didn't look for nobody. They didn't interview anybody else because you know what the Rooney Rule is, right?
Right.
Yeah, the Rooney Rule is for us that may not know is that you are required to hire or interview a minority. You know, as your coaching job is vacant, you're required to interview a minority, and that was not the case. They just went to go get John Gruden, and that was it.
Wow.
And that was it. So the way he's saying it is, that's not the case. The case is that you had a deal done way before, you know, football season was over with. So I mean, you knew you was gonna fire this other coach.
Yeah.
And you just waiting. You just buying your time. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just buying your time.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll get that figured out. He's been really, really diligent in the NFL and minorities getting that say.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So.
awesome.
And I didn't realize he was orchestrated the Minnesota Herschel Walker trade.
That don't surprise me.
Yeah.
You said he's 8'3"?
Sure was.
That was a great train robbery.
Yeah, it was a great train robbery. Matter of fact, this is the second time. That was the second time Minnesota got robbed by Dallas.
Yeah.
Remember the Hail Mary pass?
Yeah.
Now Minnesota finally got somebody back.
That probably won't ever happen again in the history of the NFL.
It
the way
won't.
that went down.
It
Probably
won't.
won't ever see that again.
You won't.
We woke up the whole NFL trade.
I
It
think
sure
it
did. It sure did. Free agency jumped in. Plan B jumped in.
You look at the result of those trades. Cowboys went back to back with won Super Bowl 3 times in 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Behind that trade.
Behind that trade. Yep.
And if somebody wouldn't have been selfish, we could have
He
been
had
like
4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
New England.
I like Jimmy Johnson.
I didn't call my name.
Well, okay. All right, so let's since we talking Cowboys, Lewis, you got the floor.
You have to.
Watching.
You have to.
Popcorn.
You have to do better than that.
You got a microwave.
So seriously, we all know what was this Tuesday. We probably one of the last talk shows to ever talk about what happened on Friday the 13th.
Jason.
We all were in anticipation. We heard it all over the radar airways. We kept anticipating on when the Dez Bryant situation would ever get addressed. And so we started hearing speculation. Jerry was going to meet with Dez. Didn't know what day it was. Then another report came out. The meeting will be held Friday. Now, granted, Friday was the business day before the start of all season activities for the Dallas Cowboys.
Right.
Which was that Monday.
Right.
And so, I was at work, and, mind my own business, and my phone started buzzing, brother started texting me. I didn't know what was going on. Cut it on the news, and all I seen was Dez Bryant will get cut by the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm like, okay, it wasn't surprised, but what really surprised me the most, to kind of cut it to the chase, he wasn't offered a pay cut, the opportunity to even accept a pay cut. One would think that this is something that the Dallas Cowboys had in mind since the last regular season game against the Eagles. It's too ironic to me that this happened the day before the offseason activities began for the team on Monday, as an indication to me that they wanted to wait to the very last minute to go ahead and make it known to the public what the Dallas Cowboys had in mind. And I look at that from the standpoint of a public relations hit on the team. One would think that's probably why they did it. It shouldn't be that way, but what I have a problem with is, and I know this is a business, okay, so let me say this. It is a business. I understand that. We think about Tony Romo, we think about DeMarcus Ware, DeMarco Murray. We went through all that. But I think the way this was handled, in essence of timing, was horrible. One person might say, well, when it comes to business, it's all about the team, not about you. But my thing is, when Jerry Jones released a statement, one of his first sentences was, we hold Dez Bryant to the highest regard. Well, if you did, you wouldn't have did what you did and just let the wide receiver market run itself dry, where all these teams giving these receivers big money contracts, up into and including the Cowboys going after Sammy Watkins, and we're going to pay this man who hasn't really proven anything in the NFL over $12 million. But Watkins chose Kansas City because they offer more than the Cowboys. So what the Cowboys do, they went out and got Allen Hurns and Deontay Thompson. Dez Bryant is still on the roster.
Right.
Then you have 30 wide receiver visits in anticipation for the NFL draft. Dez Bryant is still on the roster. The writing was all on the wall that this man was going to get cut, unbeknownst to us that the pay cut there wasn't even on the table from the beginning like we thought it was. So when I had posted what I posted on Facebook, I wanted to make sure everybody knew I'm okay with the business aspect, but the way it was handled, you didn't even give Dez Bryant an opportunity
So let me ask you.
let me finish. An opportunity to be amongst the rest of the receivers looking for a job or waiting for that phone call. You wait until the market ran dry, and then you decide to release this man. Now, and I'm pretty sure he'll get signed by a team, but all the money's gone. So I do understand it's a business, and I do understand that if the Cowboys kept him after June 1st, he would have counted $16.5 million against the salary cap and put in his pocket $12.5 million.
If they had kept him yesterday, it was already guaranteed.
Right.
If they had kept him yesterday,
This
it
is
was
beyond
guaranteed.
post June 1st.
Yeah. If they had kept him
cut,
yesterday, it was
period.
It was guaranteed.
So I mean, and then of course we owe Tony Romo this year. He's not even on the roster. $8.9 million on top of that.
So let me ask you this question.
So
how do you think how do you think Denver did C.J. Anderson?
Which he was cut
He
yesterday.
was cut yesterday.
He was cut yesterday, and
Listen. Let me
okay, go
let me
ahead.
school you for a second, real quick.
Okay,
Here we
Okay.
go.
Number one. You know, the plan. There was a plan already laid out of how they was going to deal with Dez.
I agree.
There was a plan already laid out. They needed to get their ducks in a row before they unrolled their plan.
Which is
So
business.
they needed to get some receivers because you can't let Dez go and you don't have any of the receivers. Because before the market went dry, they had to go get them a couple of receivers, and
Right.
those two receivers are not necessarily guaranteed to be on the roster because everybody's got to fight for a job.
Right.
So they wanted to make sure they got their ducks in a row. Okay. The reason why they did not offer Dez Bryant any more money because number one, they was probably tired of his antics on the sideline. So that's number one. Number two.
Okay,
number
well,
two
no,
is,
let me stop you right there.
wait, let me
Hold on,
finish.
let me stop right there.
All right.
But we heard all this stuff from the team saying, well, that's just the way that's the
Yes.
energy that they post. It went from that. How do you go from exhibiting energy the way Jason Garrett would
but
say
that's
to
called-
saying antics all of a sudden?
But that's called
Where'd
first
that come
of
from?
all, the Cowboys didn't say the word antics. media is saying
I'm saying
the Cowboys didn't say we're antics. They kept everything above board.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, he's a good guy, love him to death. They kept everything above board with Dez Bryant. They never said anything bad about him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but let's all be honest here.
Mm-hmm.
We saw all those antics.
Mm-hmm.
We saw how and he actually said it himself. Garrett guys, I'm not a Garrett guy. What does that mean? Whoever knew about that before he actually said that? Nobody. Dez put himself out there like that.
Mm-hmm.
Dez continues to put himself out there. Oh, I see y'all. I'm gonna play y'all twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
He's continuing to put himself out there. These are antics that we're referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They probably got tired of that.
if you say that the handwriting is on the wall, and he's more inside than the media,
Mm-hmm.
he has an agent out there.
Mm-hmm.
You already see they done picked up 2 receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And you have walk-ons that's gonna be coming on.
Mm-hmm. And then you got the draft coming
now,
in.
let's look at the real story here. Number one, not only was he calling Garrett out,
Mm-hmm.
but he was calling out other coaches
And teammates.
and teammates. Now, let me show you. You going to school? I think I'm the oldest one in here. When you start messing with certain people
Mm-hmm.
and messing with their characters,
You got the road.
Yep. You have to go.
they gon' okay, I'm going to smile in your face.
Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm
All
gonna
the
do.
time, I'm going to take your place.
You know what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah, you know exactly. And with that type of mentality, because I'm going to show you something. Troy Aikman, one of the best NFL quarterbacks, recently came on with the media and said, this is Jerry's way. Reason why I took my retirement, this Troy Aikman saying this, reason why I took my retirement is because they was going to cut me out anyhow.
Mm-hmm. So he said, "I actually gonna return."
Emmett,
Go out on
same
a
way
good
with
note.
Emmett.
Matter of fact, Emmett went to Arizona.
Arizona. And the only reason why Emmett came back to Dallas, or Jerry brought him back to Dallas, because of marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Because we retired the #1 NFL rushing leader
Yep.
out of Dallas.
So we got to bring him back.
And we talking about money, business.
Yeah. Jerry's all
Money
about
is
us.
business.
It's all about. But I'm gonna tell you one more
So
thing
Steven
too.
is all
I'm gonna tell you
about
one more thing
business.
too, because this is what we need to. This is what we're not talking about now. Who's running this team now?
Steven.
It's not Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
It's Steven. Because there was a report that came out that there was an argument between Steven and Jerry if they're gonna let Dez go or they gonna keep him. Dez wanted to keep. Jerry wanted to keep Dez.
I can see that.
Steven wanted to say, "Hey, we got to move on."
Yeah.
This Cowboy team is about to do something that they did back in the early 90s. Is create another big 3. Dez Bryant is not a part of that big 3.
Well,
He already got 8 years in.
And that's what they're doing because
Yes.
they already have 2.
They got 2. Now you got to go get a wide receiver.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
his numbers are declining.
Yeah.
Why do you consistently keep a player whose numbers are declining? Not increasing, but declining.
Calling for the
I-
ball and
Well,
then drop
not only because if his number declining, it was one more other player number was declining behind him.
Terrence Williams?
No,
So
No.
Jason Witten,
no, the quarterback.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah,
This-
every time he drop a
Oh,
pass,
yeah.
Yeah, his
that's
numbers
an
get
It's
pushed.
interception.
affected Dax.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
And
That's
if it's-
most of another interception that could take place.
And if this is going to be a Dak Prescott team, Dak needs players that he can play with. Remember,
Yes.
we talked about Dak
Yes.
Dak did not throw in tight coverages. He don't like interceptions. So I'm gonna throw it where you're open. Dez Bryant had a problem with separation.
Yes.
He could not separate at all. And then for you to know that he had a problem with separation, he went to get a separation coach. I ain't never heard that a day in my life. What's up?
Our wide receiver coach who can focus on him separating.
Separate. Yeah. We 8 years in.
Now,
Right.
Now, I do have one problem.
You got a separation coach?
No. Is that some of the plays that the Cowboys was calling,
Oh, that was vanilla.
they were very elementary.
Mm-hmm.
Very. This game here is too fast.
Which is I think why it prompted Dez Bryant, and I put him on post December 27th after that Seattle game, I believe. He sat there and said, "Man, we got to be more creative on offense," and that I think may have been the beginning of his departure
Yeah.
because he called out Scott Linehan.
Yeah.
And me and you both know Dez Bryant was being real.
Yeah,
Right.
but here's the thing though. Yeah, you're being real, but you be real within the confines of your team. You don't go out there and put it in public and be real.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. Number two is this right here. There are cornerbacks that will say, "Man, every time we go up against Dez, we know we cover only certain routes because we know he don't run nothing else."
Janoris Jenkins.
Yeah, we cover only certain routes. So they already got you pegged.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you be a star? And I always say this. I've said this to you many a times. How are you a star receiver when you need a certain quarterback to get you the ball?
Right.
You know, you need a Romo to just throw it up there when you're supposed to be able to go get the ball anywhere. You know, because Romo was a gunslinger. You know, but you needed him. Dez and Romo needed each other. I mean, they needed each other. But Romo could do it without Dez. Dez couldn't do it without Romo.
Real quick, Shelly.
Yes.
If you know, Dez Bryant's Twitter has dramatically changed, obviously. He put a cover photo of Tupac, and it says, people get judged for being real and how people get love for being fake.
Ooh.
What does that mean?
Boy.
See?
Read that again.
Boy. Oh boy.
He put a cover photo on his Twitter page, and this is his Twitter page, and it says in big bold letters, people get judged for being real, and how people get loved for being fake.
Oh,
What does that mean?
I can answer that very much.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I've been put in that position many times. They don't want to hear what's true.
It's real, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I put sugar in is tea and Kool-Aid.
What about coffee?
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee.
But
But people, really, to be honest with you, people don't want to hear the truth.
they don't.
And that's what Dez was doing. He was bringing the truth.
But the question is, no, I have to ask this one question.
Go ahead,
How
sis.
do we know he bringing the truth?
Exactly.
Well,
Just 'cause he said
I
what
can
makes
show-
it
no,
true.
No. Let's go back to T.O. When T.O. was at
Terrell
Cal,
Owens. Uh-huh.
what was he saying? Pretty much a similar thing.
But he was on his way out too. It's funny how you tell the truth when you're getting fired.
Well,
When you ain't getting fired, you don't tell the truth.
Okay, you're right.
I'm
Because
saying-
my dad used to say the only one that knows the truth is the one that was part of it.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Now,
saying this
you
right
think
here.
they gonna come? The organization gonna come out and tell the truth?
No, because why do I have to do that? First of all, we in the organization know the truth.
Right.
I don't need that out there. Keep it here. Now, if you wanna be a baby and go take your ball and cry, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna get out there, and he's on every news circuit he can get on, talking about this situation. I'm like, why is he such? I mean, everybody gets cut. Everybody gets fired. It's nothing new. There's situation is nothing new that we've never seen before. So why is it that we all hell bent on him having to leave the team?
Well, and you're right. If you're gonna be a baby man, pick up your marbles and go home. Like Mr. John said, put your shirt back on.
Put your shirt back on. Put on the
Go
tie.
play in another game.
Go get
you
your
know.
Go
Now,
get your team.
now you got an attack mode against the Cowboys,
Right.
saying,
And-
"I want to go to a team."
But guess what the other teams are doing? Do I want to bring that to my team?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Do I want to bring that type of chaos to my club? Because that, I promise you, that people are looking at that. Look, he's he's trying to get on every
I
news
think
circuit.
he'll
gonna get his
picked up.
way.
I'm pretty sure he will.
He gonna get picked up.
I predict
Yeah.
that Washington would pick him up.
Now I'm thinking Cleveland,
I'm saying Washington.
but
He
see,
said
Washington
he
don't
wanna play
have
Cowboys.
Washington don't have a lot of money.
He want to play Cowboys twice.
Washington don't have a lot
And
of
they're
money.
the only team in our division that needs somebody like him.
Let's see. Okay, here's one. I'm gonna throw this out there.
Well, he
Giants.
better not go to the Giants. Don't say it. I knew he was gonna say it. You better not go to the
And
Giants.
here's the reason why
That is so
I think.
defiant.
Here's the
Well,
reason.
they do
That's
have
like
a problem with.
Let him go to the Giants. That's two headaches
But
on the
that's
team.
like
But
what's
they
his name
receive-
went to the Eagles. I was like, oh, that is
No.
straight slap in the face.
Let him go to the Giants because there's two headaches on that team. They can't hold that.
Well, I'm gonna look on the opposite
Oh,
end
you
of
talking about
the
Odell?
headaches in
Yeah,
terms of the
but
Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
they
Dez
can't
Bryant-
they ain't gonna go together.
If Dez Bryant goes to the
Well,
Giants, you have just think about it. You have Odell Beckham against the opposing team's number one cornerback versus Dez Bryant going up against 2s and 3s, which we all know he will crush.
Crush him.
And then you got Shepard.
Right.
Don't
Not to mention you
But
have
they
Brandon
on the
Marshall
wire.
Brandon Marshall and
and
Shepard.
Sterling Shepard.
But the
on top of
problem
that.
is you got
Can't
Eli
have them
throwing you the
stars.
ball.
Them egos ain't gonna win.
Either bad Eli or good Eli.
Man.
One or the other.
You're gonna get one.
If I'm not mistaken, they kind of parted together.
Who, Odell and Dez?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken.
Partying together and being on the same team together is two different things.
The Giants, they are
That's too many
the type of
It's
team.
exactly.
But if they could do something to take the shine out of our star, they would do it.
Yeah, but I mean that's
Well,
a
they
Philadelphia
would, but
tried.
that would.
That's
Yeah,
what Philadelphia tried
tried
with
that.
DeMarco
Yeah,
Murray.
with DeMarco
He got
Murray,
cut
and
the
it
next
didn't work.
And they actually got him just to get him away from Dallas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I could see the Giants doing that. I could see them coming after Dez just to get back at the Cowboys like the Eagles did.
No, they
But
Speaking
it's
of the
not gonna
Giants,
they got that headache.
Pro Football Talk is reporting that that's who Dez wants to go to.
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
course.
but still,
Of course.
the
He
Giants
want to
ain't.
stay in the division.
They haven't reached
The
out
Giants
to
haven't
the
reached out.
Redskins.
They're not gonna do it.
The only team
They're
that
not
has
gonna
reached
do
out,
it.
has really reached out to Dez or showed the interest is Baltimore.
Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
I would like to see him with Baltimore. I like Baltimore.
I would love to see him in Houston.
I don't know
No.
what the number of targets that DeAndre Hopkins is getting.
Yeah, Dez got to
I don't
find.
know
He got to
about
find
that.
his way in.
I don't know about
He got to
about
find his way
Texas.
in.
I'd
But I
like
don't
to see him
think.
in Baltimore.
I don't think he's gonna find. I think Dez is who we are. I think Dez is
he
who
would be good
he
with
is.
Ravens.
I don't think Dez can, and it's just my opinion. I would have loved for him to stay and be like a second or third receiver because I don't think
But
Dez
he
can
ain't
step
taking
his
a
game
back
up
seat.
to a first number one receiver, and I think he's gonna be too mentally caught up in this whole thing because anytime Dez gets into a mental frantic, he's sorry.
Right.
What
I mean,
you need to
yeah,
do
he
is
can't-
go to Cabo like Zeke did and get his mind right.
Well, yeah, that.
Go to
That
Cabo.
too.
When he
Get
leaves
you
Cabo,
a
where's he
trainer.
going?
Where's he going? Yeah,
It don't matter. Go to
Stay in
Cabo,
Cabo.
get your mind right,
he can stay in
and
Cabo.
then come back. Stay out the media, lay low.
But the problem is though, here's the deal though. If Dez gets shut down by number ones, how you know we don't have a number one already sitting there waiting for him to come over here? So we can shut Xavier Woods, Chidobe,
Chidobe Awuzie.
him too.
Please say the name, Professor. Please help him out.
Chidobe Woods. I mean, they could be some of those corners that you know, yeah, you can play us twice, but you ain't getting nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And we just gonna wait for you to drop the ball so I can get interception. I mean, you know, so I'm like this right here. Dez, go do your thing, but I'm saying stay out of the media.
Yeah, sit down
Be
somewhere,
quiet.
relax, chill.
Yes, yeah, and nothing's gonna happen until after draft anyway.
Right.
Because everybody's gonna try to figure out what player they can bring in.
Everybody needs to take
So
a
after the
chapter out
draft-
of Zeke's book. Go to Cabo, get buff, get yourself right,
You
and
wanna go
then
Cabo.
come back.
All right.
Yeah, we need to go get our mind right. Let's go to Cabo. And you're out there running on the beach with no shirt on.
With the halter top on.
Boy, no halter tops, no halter tops.
All right,
Here we go.
have we dug in and are you good now, Lewis?
You all right?
Oh, we got part 2 at 4 quarters, so
Okay,
we're not
oh,
through.
Okay.
Boy, he
We're
got
not
your
through.
number.
All right,
He got
all
your
right.
number. He ready for you.
All right. Oh, B said he'll be go to Oak Cliff Redskins.
Say again?
He said B said he wanted to
B.
Oh, the Oak Cliff
Oh,
Redskins.
You didn't say have a team.
Yeah, he probably don't like them coaches either.
Call him out.
Them Oak Cliff
Them
guys.
Oak Cliff guys.
Yeah.
You really would be in trouble then.
Okay. You might not be. Your body might not be found.
I'm sure it won't because they don't. Injury is nothing for them. All right, let's do this right here. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we got the hour of power, the time that people come over here.
Yes.
I think that's the only reason why
indeed.
people come
Yeah.
to the show is for the
You
entertainment
know you've
hour.
had more viewers since I've been on the show, right?
So let's get.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, you're right.
That's not
You
true.
want to change? I'm here.
Yeah, AD wasn't listening till I came on the show.
Well, that's cool. What support? Love and support.
I'm kidding.
Well,
Love
really,
the
she
support.
one family. We just let you in.
Ooh, I didn't say it, honey.
No, you know I got love for
B
you.
wasn't
Kid.
on as much either till I came on the show.
You know I ain't got nothing but love for you, sis.
Sorry.
I feel you.
Where G came out the blue, I'm telling you, they love me.
Okay.
People love me. I'm on my Cool J.
All right, so
That's Cool J.
having said that, we'll be right back at 411 Sports Talk Radio on 411radionetwork.com.
I think she's being too good over there.
Look, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I need to look at my stuff today.
No, don't come back.
He might show up.
If you come up here and talk about
Ready? All right.
I know they were doing that in church down in Atlanta.
I know they do.
I know. Creflo Dollar Church.
No, there's another one now.
Oh, I will speak about that too.
All right. Yeah, we over here jamming. I might just let the music play and let it just roll. This is 411 Sports Talk Radio on 411radionetwork.com. We are back in the saddle again.
Back it up.
Back it up.
And jump.
And chop.
Cha-cha with your right.
And chop with your left.
Is this the entertainment hour?
Speaking of entertainment, she
Anyway.
providing the right.
Right.
If it is, because I would love to see more of that in church.
You would?
Not that music, but
No, you want to back it up?
no,
No.
people
Oh,
moving,
yeah, back it up,
not
right.
going to sleep.
What kind of music y'all got? You can't have that kind
Has
of
it been
music.
that long?
No.
Well, I haven't been to your church. Go to my own church, and we have some lively music.
We have
Lively worship.
We do.
Yeah,
You know,
CJ
you're a
be
missionary Baptist, right?
CJ
I
be-
know y'all got some good
CJ be hooking it up.
Do you?
Yeah, Mom.
Oh, he can
Not,
sing.
I'm AD.
CJ
I
be
know
hooking
you're
it
not
up.
CJ.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
CJ. That boy, he can blow.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I heard him sing at Jordan's funeral. Mercy. Anyway,
Okay.
entertainment news.
Entertainment news for you.
Entertainment news. Okay, so you mentioned something a second ago. We were jokingly talking about Creflo Dollar. Did you know he is trying to endorse Snoop Dogg's gospel album? Remember I talked about the gospel album?
Yeah.
But you know Creflo Dollar.
I was telling people on
Yeah,
that.
I was like, I don't
you
know
didn't
how
say
would
that to
accept
me
that
because I would have put
endorsement.
that out.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you can keep your endorsement.
Well.
Keep your endorsement.
Well, Snoop don't give him that plane.
No,
Well, he already got his plane.
The plane.
Oh, he
No,
already
he
got
got
the
it
plane.
already.
He already got the plane.
Yeah,
So
some
the
people-
members actually got on the plane.
Somebody got it.
When did he get the plane?
I don't recall, but he got a
Has it been
plane.
more than 2 years?
I don't remember.
See,
It's
the
from-
planes are
I don't
now.
follow Creflo Dollar
Well,
like that.
planes are now like Cadillacs used to be back in the day.
Yeah, he
Really?
so he
got
went
to have one.
he went to the
Flip it
auction.
every 2 years.
He went to the auction.
You gotta flip it every 2
Yeah.
years.
So he went to the auction.
I guess
Plane
so.
just rolled up in the auction. I got it.
Yeah.
I'm buying.
Little brother? My brother's watching. So,
All right. So
Jerome,
what else you got?
I was talking to my family the other day, and we were talking about Starbucks and the situation that happened with those two gentlemen the other day. And I was talking to one of my clients, and we were going back and forth about some stuff, and the Twitter thing popped up and said, this happened. So I watched the video, and I was looking, I was like, but they're not doing nothing. They're just sitting there. There was a lady there, a Caucasian lady, that was videotaping the whole thing, and they were just sitting there doing nothing. They were just doing what you do when you go to Starbucks. And the police came in and I guess talked to them. There was a chair on the ground. I was trying to figure out how the chair got on the ground. I didn't know if they knocked it down or somebody kicked it over or whatever. But what ended up happening is the gentlemen were there waiting for a friend. They were having a meeting.
Who was Caucasian?
And the friend walked in and was like, hey, what's going on?
When
He
they
walks
get
in and
arrested.
seeing his friends getting arrested. He's like, what's going on? What did they do? And everybody in the place, all Caucasian, were like, they didn't do anything. They were just sitting there. So the person, the manager that called the police, called 911 or whatever. My big thing is the Starbucks CEO has apologized. He met with the gentleman. His statement at first on Twitter was very loose and general. He said the two individuals, and he made it very like bland or whatever. But then he came back. Someone must have said something to him. He came back and he made plans to meet with the guys, and they were real estate investors or real estate brokers. I forget, but they were real estate professionals. So he met with them. He met with the mayor. My problem is now the police chief is justifying that it was okay for his officers to arrest
That
them.
what they want.
He's the only one out of everyone who is saying that this was wrong. He's justifying the fact that his police officers, because my mind, and Cedric will tell you, I was driving him crazy. I'm like, okay, the CEO's apologized, he's taking care of all this stuff. What about the police? When you get to that situation and you see that nothing happened, why would you still arrest them? Why would you still place these gentlemen in handcuffs? They weren't dressed professionally. They dressed down. They had on sweats or whatever, but they're still not doing anything. And once you talk to all the witnesses and everyone was saying they were doing nothing, why would you still put them in handcuffs? They put them in handcuffs and they did not get out of jail until 2:00 the next morning.
Well, the reports is that the officers did ask them to leave, and once the officer give you a command, you have to leave.
You gotta obey that command.
You have to leave.
No matter if they wrong.
Doesn't matter. When the officer asks you to go ahead and leave, you can pursue something afterwards, but once that occur, then you're disobeying a lawful order. Even though it wasn't right, but that's what happens.
Right.
So that's the reason why a lot of us is being killed.
Because we're
disobeying
not obeying
lawful
a lawful
Yeah,
order.
we're not. Yeah, a lot of us are
Like the
being
gentleman
killed.
in Fort Worth that was on
I
drugs.
still
and-
believe that
ran.
some of the things that happen is a legal extension of white supremacy. You see it every day. That's just a legal extension that they always, I'm going to call the police. Because I've been in Starbucks 8-10 hours, meeting after meeting, writing
Not
books,
eating.
writing books. And matter of fact,
Not buying
I
shit.
brought food in.
Yeah.
And I have never been asked to leave a Starbucks.
But like I said, I say this was an isolated incident.
Very isolated. And it was a
It-
franchise,
yeah,
too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
isolated, and it doesn't. This is not something that happens all over the country in Starbucks.
No, it doesn't.
So we take and this is where we
There
kind
was
of
another incident.
Where?
From a different location.
in the same area.
No. I think I posted. I know I posted it. Look,
Oh, I didn't see
but
that.
but it was a female manager this time.
Well, it was a
Well-
female manager in Philadelphia, too.
Well, this here particular incident where a gentleman, Caucasian, came in and asked to use the restroom. So I believe it was an African American waited till he got through, wanted to do the same thing. She refused him.
Wow. Well, they said
And-
the next day a lady came in, the same Starbucks in Philadelphia, came in, a Caucasian lady, came in, she said, I sat there for 2 hours and I didn't order anything and I just sit there. She said it didn't bother me. didn't say anything to me. But I applaud the CEO of Starbucks. He is now going to close 8,000 of the stores that are not franchises, the actual stores that are corporate owned, to have racial training for all the employees, managers, staff, etc. So he's going to do that on May 29th. They're going to close those stores and do some training. I just wish that the police chief, I understand what you're saying, what he said, but again, when you get there and you survey the lay of the land, why would you ask those gentlemen to leave when everybody else was doing the same thing? That means you needed to tell everybody that was in there to leave because they all were doing the same thing.
Well, I can almost speak to that because if the manager is complaining to the police to call 911, then the police's responsibility is to diffuse the situation. That means
But
remove
it was a
people.
false
Right, but it
claim.
happened. Remember, I was at TGI Fridays, and I broke out.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And
Ooh,
the
it
manager
was
called.
crazy.
The manager called, and we had just got to TGI Fridays, and I started breaking out and getting hot and everything and sweating. Well, the manager called 911, and they came at me as if I was doing something wrong because
They
what
sure
the
did.
manager said.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's,
no, the manager didn't say anything wrong. It was the customers that were saying things around you. Because I'm the,
I thought it was
you
the
were out
manager.
of
Yeah,
it.
I thought it was
No,
the manager.
and this happened at TGIF, and the police were, I think the police were in the area, and they were like, well, what is he doing? Is he drunk? Or they were saying all kind of crazy stuff. The witnesses or the people that were in the area, but the manager came out because he was African American and we knew him.
No, it was the
And
girl.
he
It was
came
that
out.
girl. It was the other. It was a Caucasian lady who was the one who was saying stuff.
Right, and so the
And they
police
was
officers were
rolling what
like
she was saying.
about to handcuff him, and I'm like, wait a minute, we're just sitting here, eating, and he's having a problem. This is a medical emergency. It's not,
Remember
oh,
that
well, we
y'all came
thought,
up to the hospital?
yeah, you
I
were
remember
there.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it's to me, I think the police officers need to be more
But they're
more
responding.
investigative.
Yeah, but they're responding toward someone who said something.
But there
so
have been times where people have called the police and have made a false claim, and then when you get there,
And the
you
police roll with it.
investigate.
Yeah,
The police roll with it. Like, who was it? I saw on a Facebook one time, and it was funny to watch, but it was a real situation. This gentleman had his phone on this woman. She called the police and said that he was beating her.
Oh,
She was
yeah,
on the ground throwing a fit. He's sitting up here with the camera like this, and she's on the phone with 911. He's hitting me. He's beating me. And she on the floor, and he's standing way back here.
laughing.
And he laughing at her and doing the camera. He's like, why are you doing that? When the police get there, they only heard what was on 911.
Right.
He had to show them the video to say,
Yeah.
look, this is what she was doing. But at least in that case, they didn't just say, man, turn around, hang, and put him in handcuffs. They actually took the time to investigate the scene.
Well, not just kind of in defense for some of them. Some will do their job.
Right.
Mhm.
Some
Majority
will.
of them will.
Some will.
Majority of them
Even
will.
like with Starbucks, you got some good Starbucks, especially the one I go to in City Hill.
So you're not shutting down on May 29th, are you?
Oh, you gonna have to
Is that
shut
a
down.
Sunday?
You can't. No, Starbucks is shutting themselves down that day.
I stopped by on my way.
Figured out what day it is.
Matter of fact, I'm like normal chill
It's
when I
on
walk
Tuesday.
in. Hey,
It's on Tuesday.
Oh, we won't be going anywhere. We'll be on the
Why
show.
don't you get it the day before and just put it in the oven and in the microwave and then come on back out?
That's funny.
But no, I have to stand with for what's right. And even though it affects the good, like they always say, the good get caught up with the bad.
Right.
You
One
know,
bad apple.
just like with us, I don't agree with some of the action that African American
That
people
we do.
do.
Right,
I don't
right.
I don't wear my pants down to my knees.
Because I can't run when I start robbing folks.
You know.
Oh my
Shush, shush, shush.
It's hard to run when you turn it down.
Anyway,
Yep.
okay, can't get away.
Trip over yourself and stuff like that.
So that's the Starbucks thing. So the next thing is, any beehive. I know y'all are not beehive.
Oh,
No, Lord.
But I like the one who leads
Coachella.
the beehive.
I know you do. I know you do. She's sexy, ain't she?
Miss Beyoncé.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
So she led Coachella. She wasn't able to go last year, so she wanted to make sure that this year she was off the chain. and the reviews are just a buzz that Beyonce did her thing, and she blew up YouTube. She actually, the report is that YouTube is the best live review that they've ever had. She blew him out the water. So her
Isn't it-
Coachella performance.
Isn't this how some of us, the reaction we get?
Well, you know, it was so crazy. Her mom thought that the performance was going to be too black and wasn't going to be able to reach her
Really?
her Caucasian. Yeah.
Really?
Her mom, who is
Really?
French and you know everything
Yeah,
mixed
yeah,
in
yeah.
with black, thought that it would be too black for her audience that was not African American. But everyone loved it across the board. Everyone loved her performance. So if you have not seen it, it's out on YouTube. And as a matter of fact, the festival is still going on, and it'll stream live again on the 22nd. So she'll have another performance, I believe, on the 22nd, which is
This month?
This Sunday, yeah,
Okay.
of this month. It's 13th through the 22nd out in California. Cardi B performed, and she's pregnant.
I'll be
They
sure.
said she shut it down.
I'll be sure not to tune in. I'm gonna tune in.
Well,
Yeah, so Beyonce's doing her thing as usual, showing up and showing out. They said she even made a record fingernail change in between sets. And of course, only the Beehive would notice that kind of stuff. They
Right.
Oh, look at her nails done changed.
I'm still trying to figure out
That's
who
a
did
diva.
the church, you know. Maybe that's
I don't know, but I'm-
No, that's Janet Jackson.
No, Beyonce.
Oh,
did
she does that too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't like the way Janet Jackson does it.
I know you like, but Janet is old and decrepit.
Wait a minute.
By the way,
No,
now that
no,
you're speaking
no,
of that,
Well, no.
you the one said she looked like Joe Jackson.
That was
her
when she got
mom,
mad.
Catherine Jackson, had a
That's
stroke.
right, yeah.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
she had a
They
stroke.
created her speech.
Yeah. So, lastly, in the news, Mariah Carey, one, she's admitted to being bipolar. She's had some incidents.
We knew that.
That's not nice. The other is that her former manager is accusing her of sexual harassment and substance abuse, that she plans to file a lawsuit, while Mariah Carey's camp is saying that it's a frivolous claim and that if she files this suit, that they are ready to take action.
Ooh.
So we gotta need to watch that. This is her former manager.
Oh.
Says that accuses her of sexual harassment now.
Wait a minute.
Trying to
She
figure out.
Wait, the she?
Wait a minute.
It's
She
a
was,
she. A she and a she.
She played for
oh,
the
she
team.
and the she.
Yeah,
Oh.
she,
Her former manager
okay.
is a female
she plays for the other
and
team.
is claiming that
Yeah, she played for the
sexual
same-
harassment.
Yeah, she subscribed to the same magazine.
So you do the math. What's that movie we watched today? You do the math.
Yeah, if it was
On
a
first
brother-
Sunday,
Clock.
Hey, if it
we
was
said
a brother,
12 chairs, $1,200.
hey, if it was a brother, I would say he's bipolar.
He's bipolar, yeah.
Right.
But yeah, she.
Right. So yeah, so be watching the news for that. That is going to be probably in the next couple of days. We'll see more of that information about Mariah Carey possibly being sued. There were some other things in the news. I didn't know whether to really. I mean, I'm so sick of R. Kelly and Usher and all these men. Keep your pants up.
Yeah.
But R. Kelly is supposedly out there spreading STDs.
Come
Well,
on,
well,
man. Really?
At least she was old enough to vote.
Right.
She got to that way.
Right.
He knew her way before she got old enough to vote, though.
Right. Exactly.
He knew her way before that.
I wonder if she just caught it with somebody else.
Who knows? But he needs to sit back. All these people need to go to Cabo and relax.
What was it, about a week ago? Was that Lil Wayne? Where some woman accused him of
They all getting accused. Nelly getting accused.
and it wound up not being true.
No, but where there's
Oh,
smoke,
that
there's
was
fire.
Yeah.
too short.
It was too
Was
short.
It was too short. I saw that
Staying in
story.
the house.
Yeah.
He was
looked
one
like
of them
too
too.
short. He got to stay in the house.
Oh, where?
You do leave, go and get some gas, right?
I'm not going nowhere. Have nobody accusing my husband.
But
It was
yeah,
too short.
yeah.
I saw
Wow,
that story.
that's
They
crazy.
dropped all charges because the
Yeah.
authorities found out it was not
Not
true.
true.
Yeah.
See, now.
Yeah.
That's sad, man.
But
So
see,
all
you
you
know, when
think
you
all
get
this
to a
stuff-
certain
All
level
you gotta
in
do
life,
is accuse, and they gonna.
Yeah.
this-
Right.
this
Well, that's what I was
gonna
going to say. All of this stuff seemed like it stemmed from
Bill
Bill
Cosby.
Cosby.
I was
Like
getting ready to say
once
that.
that happened, everybody came out the woodworks. You
But
got the people
it
with
was
Harvey
somebody-
Weinstein.
The problem though
Well,
is Cosby stuff still going on.
It is.
He got some problems.
He's in court. He's in
Well,
court
he
right
got some
now.
issues.
Once that become clear, no guilt, they gotta leave him alone.
Right, but he's already admitted that he has used drugs on his girls. He's already admitted that.
Yeah, he did.
They're actually letting that go back in the court. They're actually letting them say that again in court.
But one of the accusers actually recanted.
Janice Dickinson.
Of course she did. She was lying.
She
We all knew
she
was
admitted that what she was saying was not true.
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
what it
That's
is.
just
That's
one.
what it is.
It's like 12 other movies.
But it only takes one for everything else
Right,
to
right.
fall in
Exactly.
place. It only takes one.
Yeah, but
It don't take.
I don't think the
Five
rest
or
of let it
10.
go.
But, I mean,
I think the court. It's gonna go on. The court is gonna go on. It's gonna go on
Of course,
nowadays
of
you
course.
can't even look at a person.
Yeah.
without getting
You have to
accused.
be careful.
You
Right.
know? I don't like the way you just looked at me, man.
Damn.
That's the world we live in.
Yeah.
Do I need to lawyer up?
Me too.
Huh?
Me too.
Me,
You know the hashtag is me too.
well,
Oh, yeah. Do I need to lawyer up anybody?
Yeah, you need to lawyer up.
I
You be
know.
harassing me all the time.
Well, I'm gonna leave that.
Can you
Well,
have sexual
I'm gonna leave that
harassment in
alone.
marriage?
Huh?
Can you have sexual harassment in marriage?
No.
Oh.
The Bible tells you don't define
No.
marriage. Okay, we go.
Amen.
There you go. There you go. Work it out.
Amen.
There you go. Work it out. So I can look at you up and down.
Waking me up at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I can look at you up and down.
What you?
I said, waking me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, harassing me.
Matter of fact, when we get through, fit me a sandwich.
Hey. See, you better stand with G and B.
Two.
She talking about come over here and clean the house.
2 in the morning. I thought it was 1.
I don't know what time it was. I was asleep. I had sleep in my eyes.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Let's keep it
move
moving.
on to the next thing.
He
So-
say, she say.
So he,
We gotta get off that subject.
and you the main one. So the he say, she say question for
cousin over here.
tonight is, you made me lose my question.
I'm gonna follow
Move.
I got my cousin over here. I got
I'm gonna
help.
follow suit.
You made me lose my question. Where'd my question go? Oh my goodness.
X for the X.
No, okay. You made me lose my question off the screen. Yeah, Louis, you say it because you had it right.
So this he said she said question was spearheaded some years ago by Cedric and myself. Something I
Benchwarmer.
Benchwarmer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 1 in 12 states. You keep
Oh,
calling.
I know your whole name now.
Don't be saying his government
By,
name.
everybody knows him by Cedric, man. But
20 and 12, I'll redo some of those states.
But it was spearheaded by a conversation we had years ago, back when we was at another broadcasting booth, and he said something that I really never thought about, and I had to say it again so I can kind of make sense to it. But he said, "quote unquote," an X is an X for a reason. So the question is that true or false? Your ex-boyfriend, your ex-girlfriend is an X for a reason.
Let me clarify that for you. That is very true. Because why are you an X? There's a reason. There's a reason. Now you can become an un-X and
Yeah.
get back together. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
get back together, but you're an X for a reason. Now, if you cleared the reason out to where you don't have to be an X anymore, you can get back together. But an X is an X for a reason. Don't know what the reason is.
Okay, it came from you, so
I know.
we need to we need to let you expound
No.
on why you believe this is true.
Because
Evidently, that's what you're saying.
yes, because everybody I broke up with for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a number of things. It could be you smelled bad, or you didn't brush your teeth, or something like that, or a number of reasons.
You broke up with me because of that?
No,
you
you
broke
sure?
up with him because of that.
I said, did you break up with people because of that? I wasn't talking about me.
No, I'm telling you, that's the reason why. That was their reason.
For breaking on me because I'm short.
Because he's short.
No, but I mean, you break up. I mean, there's always a reason for something. A reaction there's always a reason for something. So an
An action get a reaction.
Huh?
An action get a reaction.
Well, no, I was going to say something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
People do something for a reason.
Yeah, you don't do anything for no reason. Why you do that? Oh no, yeah.
So you just bring it with somebody just because?
No,
but you have a reason.
No. There's a reason why you break up with someone.
Okay, so you have a reason for breaking up with someone, and is that reason so? Well, I guess it just depends on the reason. But is there a reason that is so bad that you would never want to be around that ex anymore? I mean, is there a reason that's so bad that there's no forgiveness or,
Yes.
Okay, what kind of
Their
reason
character.
would that be? Their character.
The character.
Mm-hmm.
If the character, because the character is the essence of a person. So if the essence of that person is not lining up with who you are, then it doesn't have to be about forgiveness or anything like that. I'm going to let you be you, but I can't be around you by you being you. The essence of you, your character, is something that is going to be hard to change, maneuver, manipulate, or whatever. And you don't get into relationships trying to change somebody. So if I'm not going to get in this relationship trying to change you, then that's who you are. So if your character is not lining up with my character, then yeah, you go your way, I go my way.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, you just become unequally yoked, or you
Right. Or you never were.
You never were. Yeah. There was no yoke to that equal.
So, in other words, you wasn't looking spiritual from day one.
Well, you never do when you're young.
Right?
Some don't do it when they
Well,
old.
Oh, see? Yeah, buddy. You gotta look deeper.
You use an S word, but it ain't the spiritual word.
I had to school my son on that the other day. He said, "Mom, these females just not loyal." I said, "Guess what?" I said, "What you have to do is stop looking at the exterior and start looking on the inside. Look at their character.
Mm-hmm.
See, and if they're," and I said the same thing basically to him. Of course, Cedric's gonna have more of a conversation with him because that's a man thing or whatever. But as his mother, I was explaining to him that you can't always look on the surface of what somebody is. You have to go deeper. You got to see if you're spiritually aligned. You could be aligned in everything. You could be great with sports. You both love sports. You both love playing games.
Right.
You both love all this other stuff. But if you're not equally yoked, then that's not going to work. It's not, no matter what you do, you guys are not going to mesh if your spirits are not connected.
And if somebody robbed me blind, you can't come back.
Well, I mean, it's like with me, with some compliments that I give people, I can look at it, but once I get to know them and become in dialogue with them a little bit, not right away, but I might look at a young lady and say, okay, you are so beautiful. And if they're not thinking straight,
They're going to take that and
they
run.
can take, but I'm not looking at the external, but I'm looking at the internal of an individual. You understand what I'm saying?
But
So, I mean,
you
they could
learned
be-
that over the years.
So then they could be a wolf cookie, but you looking on the inside, right?
What in the world is a wolf cookie? Let's be stuff. What is a wolf cookie?
I guess a person that can think to be put in the cookie
Somebody
dough.
help me.
Put in the cookie dough.
Lord have mercy on
Look like Teen
you.
Wolf.
But but the thing about when it's just not a 1X, but a 2X.
Mm.
Okay? In other words, my past marriage, it was a 2X. She wasn't an X by herself. I'm part of that X.
Right.
I was going to ask you because we were talking about boyfriends and girlfriends. What about marriages?
Yeah, boyfriend and girlfriend.
That's easy.
If I had listened to my dad when I was back
It
in
wouldn't have been the
school,
first ex, huh?
no, I wouldn't even have some of the crazy issues that I was having. Because I cannot tell you the one girlfriend I had in high school now. Because they didn't really,
They didn't matter.
if they listening, looking, hey, I'm not.
How y'all
Let me
out
put
like
this
that?
caveat out here right now.
Hold on.
But I'm just saying.
Let me just preface this.
We still
back
cool,
then,
right?
Yeah, back then it was just puppy love.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Wasn't nothing serious.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Now, my ex, she didn't do something wrong all by herself.
Right.
Take two to tango.
I had a part in that. Like I said, back then, I was full of myself. You couldn't tell me nothing.
I remember them days.
You know? That's what they gonna have on her now. But I mean, you know, if everybody would be honest about themselves, relationships would be a whole
Then you get a lot
lot
better.
better.
Yep.
You know,
I always
the wife I have now, I could say something off the wall that an average woman would go crazy, probably want to shoot me. Serious.
But
Now, I'm talking about now. But
Do that
but
now,
I
too.
know God made her for me because she had
She ain't
an
shot you yet.
extraordinary understanding.
She ain't shot you
And
yet.
I got understanding with her. Alright.
The 80, you already know.
Don't let me get a phone call like I do a U-turn.
It didn't
You
work,
already
man.
know.
I said something, it didn't work. You got room on the couch?
Oh, you ain't coming by. I give you $1. You go to motel.
$1?
I don't know what kind of hotel you
Man, I
sit
can't
into
just
for
talk
$1.
But really, it is a reason in there until both parties become honest with each other.
It's always be there.
You know.
So do you leave your ex, if your ex is an ex for a reason, do you leave your ex in the past? Because you know some people will, and this is the strangest thing that I've ever seen, when people get divorced and still stay in the same house. What is the point of that? I'm like, if you're gonna get divorced, then just
They can't afford the
Well,
for
divorce.
financial reasons, then
They
you
can't
might as well
afford it.
stay together. You still under the same roof.
No more divorce don't cost that much if you do it in a certain
Well,
way.
they can't
Right, but I
afford it.
understand that.
But
I
they
know
can't-
contest,
they
but
can't
I'm talking
afford to
about
live
to
apart.
live apart. So,
At the living that they had
so
too.
they just become roommates.
If I
I'm gonna be in your
in order
life.
for me to,
Boy, shut up. Shut up, Bill.
I would go to a cardboard box
And,
under the breeze.
Okay.
I holler.
You know,
Why would you want to? If
no,
you're not having
no.
peace in your relationship with this person, why would you still stay under the same roof?
But
But
to
I'm
answer
thinking-
your question,
Yes,
about the exes and everything, just because you are not compatible with each other as far as a relationship, as far as a serious relationship, does not mean that you can't say, hey, how you doing, this, that, and the other. Just does not mean you can't be cordial. So.
But do you stay connected? Do you stay
Only-
close?
Well, let me put it like
What
this.
if you're really, really, really good friends, but you're not meant to be in a relationship,
Well-
and then you get into a relationship with someone, and you still have this person here that wants to be your close friend, but then you have your mate here.
Well, okay, let me put it like this. Like I said, I have a beautiful wife, okay, who's very understanding, okay. My wife is more understanding when it comes to my children's mother
That's different.
than the one that I didn't have any children by, okay. And I tell my children's mother this. The best thing that came out of our marriage was those two beautiful girls. I compliment her on how she raised them and how she raised them, as well as hopefully she utilized my money correctly.
Right. Spending money on the wig or something like that.
Right. But it takes two to have
It does.
a relationship.
My thing is this right here. If you're honest, with each other, then you can sort out a whole bunch of stuff. But if
That
you're
might
not,
be his girlfriend from high
Oh
school.
They're
Lord.
coming to get you.
wait, they calling you, right?
No.
Wait, it might be police. They found me.
Don't play.
Oh,
What was that? What was that?
Okay.
That was me almost breaking my neck.
Who is that?
Oh.
Oh. Like, what the?
That's
Hi,
that's
how you
sauce.
doing?
Good, how are you?
Nice.
That's
Very nice.
That's sauce. Boy, we were
Smooth.
finna shut this whole
I
thing down.
sent him to
We were finna shut this whole thing down. I was finna get under the
Yeah, we
table and
didn't
say,
know what was going
I
on.
ain't
He
here.
talking about the police.
I was finna get at the table. I ain't here. We thought he was his ex.
Okay, so anyway.
So real quick, an ex is an ex for a reason. True or false, Tawana?
True.
Why?
For me, by the time you're at the door of it is that I went through a process. There's a process where I've been trying to go through counseling and working things out, seeing what I can do better, what you need to do better, or whatever. So by the time I get to that point, you know, an ex is an ex for a reason. So I have extracted everything that I need from that relationship to be a better person going forward. So once you're an ex, you are an ex.
Do you go to counseling over boyfriend or girlfriend? Do you go to counseling over something serious than not just boyfriend or girlfriend? Because a boyfriend and girlfriend, I ain't going to counseling for boyfriend or girlfriend.
You're not in my inner circle.
I'm saying.
You're not in my inner circle like that.
Yeah, if it's a boyfriend or girlfriend, if it's my girlfriend, I ain't going to counseling.
No, before a spouse, there's spiritual counseling. There's other things that, you know, you can do as a couple that you need, you know, to work through some things. And once I was spiritually released, then I was really good with it. But I still need to go through a healing process so that I can still always pray for his health, his wellness, his happiness, his joy, success, less days of sorrow, more of joy. So if you can't say that and look at a person, then you still have some work before you exit that.
And you got to deal with that.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I have someone you need to talk to.
Now I understand.
Are we talking about inner circle talk to?
No. I don't know. Maybe.
Now I understand when you have an ex and you have ties to that ex like children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I'm saying if you have an ex and like you said, boyfriend, girlfriend, there was no, you know, it was whatever it was, and that's what. Do you keep that relationship or do you move on from it and you stay back there and I keep on moving
When
forward?
it came to my children's mother, I worked extra hard to have some type of camaraderie
Yes.
Yeah,
with
you have
her.
Yeah, you have
not
to.
saying that I want something intimate from you, but
We got
we have
peace for the
children.
But we
kids.
have
Yeah.
to.
and I don't want anything to affect it. Thank God, beautiful. Y'all see my daughter, very well educated, work in the medical field. They're doing excellent. And I give all praise to God behind them because children are blessings to us. But and that's what I really work hard at it because some people, you know.
Some people,
Yeah, but for the kids' sake,
For the
it's good for
children's
you
sake,
to
right.
Been there,
have
done
a
that, got
good-
t-shirts.
Yeah.
And
Because you
when-
have to co-parent,
and when
especially when your kids
right,
are small.
right, and when I saw one incident affected them a little bit, and then especially with daughters, girls have a tendency to lean more towards the mom. So I didn't
Yeah,
want to
be
do
careful.
anything to cause a wedge between me and my daughter.
Right.
So there was a lot of things I had to swallow.
Yeah.
That as a man, I'm saying, wait a minute.
But don't
Yeah,
have no
yeah.
sons that try to put a wedge between the son and his mother either.
Ooh, that's
Well,
tough.
Ooh-wee.
Well,
I'm telling
yeah.
you, my ex, my son's dad, ooh, he cut his eye. I'm always trying to be the one that's up here. And we were at one of his football games one time, and I went to go. He was standing next to my son, and I come, and you know, it's polite. I don't care who you are. It's polite to say hello.
Right.
You know, so I came over and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He cut his eye at me so hard
He cut you
in front of my son,
with a knife?
and my son went up to him. It's like, "Why you do my mama like that?" I was like, "Wait, back up," because I thought he was about to go at it with his own dad over how he treated me.
Right.
You know, you have to be careful when you do stuff like that in front of your children. And my son, my other son, is having that same issue with his baby mama. He has a little baby mama drama, and his kids are, you know, they're getting older. And I kept telling him, I said, you be you.
Right.
You continue to be cordial with her for your kids' sake, and they will see for themselves who the person is that's being negative, that's putting that wedge in between your relationship with them, et cetera, et cetera. So, I mean, if for the sake of children, you have to continue to be with, you know, cordial with your ex and everything. But I think, you know, if it's just a boyfriend, y'all don't have no ties like that,
Moving around.
be gone.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.
Peace out.
Now,
Deuces.
now starting to see a distinction here as we talk about this boyfriend, girlfriend versus husband, wife, different situation
Versus person with
versus a
kids.
different situation.
Mhm.
Now, even Canetta chimed in on this. She said,
Where?
it's on the post. I did a little wallpaper on this on my Facebook page. She said, false. If that was if that was the case, we would not be married to this day. It definitely depends on the situation. It depends on how bad the breakup was and what happened. Was there any type of abuse? Well, if it was abuse, it's over.
Right.
But maybe y'all wasn't ready for a serious relationship the first time, and you maybe be able to try again later with that same person.
That's true.
But there was a reason for the breakup, because maybe two of you were not ready. Didn't say you cannot get back together, but there's a reason for. Hey, I'm a huge component of getting back together. I know that firsthand. When I say firsthand, I have parents.
I looked at him like that.
That's why I was thinking of that process. So before, after 21 years of marriage ended, that was a process that I went through to ensure, the healing. Did I do everything? Because I can only be responsible for me. But that's why he's an ex.
For a reason.
But I went through a process.
My ex-husband told me he was gonna come get me in 20 years. I was like, excuse me? He's like, well, people have done it before. Now, back when we first were getting divorced, he told me that, talking about after 20 years, he said, we might mature, and I can come back and get you.
One quick question. How long has that been?
How long has it been since my ex?
Just said he would come and get you in 20 years.
It's been over 20 years.
It's
But
been over
at
20
first,
years.
it was like, boy, you
Was that
crazy.
guy saw it?
No, he remarried
I was
and
wondering,
had children.
I ain't never seen that car before.
But no.
But that was
but
it
like,
was funny that he said it to me, because at the time we were in our early 20s.
Right.
And so we were getting divorced, and he said, you just never know. We just were not meshing at the time. And he was like, I've seen people after 20 years get back together. And at the time I was like,
Well,
once you cut me, that's it. I ain't trying to
until you
look
meet
back.
my parents.
well,
Yeah, his parents.
that's
Oh
different.
my goodness.
But that's unique. But like she was saying,
I love his parents.
when I had my separation and finally got my divorce, actually I was planning on being the best bachelor pastor in Texas, if not in the United States.
He gonna be
Really
Best
serious.
bachelor pastor.
Who wants to marry a millionaire?
No, but the Lord saw something different.
You don't need to be alone.
But before then, I'm like you. I had to go through a process.
Yes.
I wanted to make sure the house was actually
Yes.
clean.
Yes.
I didn't have no excess
You got the
luggage.
baggage,
Right,
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that messed up the next relationship.
Yes.
And you can't go in another relationship
With a
comparing.
And you
comparing
definitely
for
don't
the
want to be
last-
the rebound.
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah,
when I say bachelor, I basically everything was there for me because I set it up like that, So, but when you have those eggs, you got to make sure you have a clean slate.
Right.
Clean slate. You
Yeah,
know, not like when we was in high school. You had a girl over here and a girl over here and a girl over here and a girl over here.
And y'all go
That's
back and
how y'all
forth.
roll?
Well, there you have it.
There you have it.
I'm just saying.
Pastor.
One at a time.
But I mean, come on.
Hey, I was young. I was young. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Kimball, man. Everybody had girlfriends at Kimball.
Have mercy.
Hey,
Have mercy.
actually, I didn't.
Huh?
Actually, I did.
You have a girlfriend at Kimball?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you don't have a girlfriend at the same school. You don't have that opposite school.
Right.
You don't never have a girlfriend at the same school.
I mean, I had friends.
But you always go
Friends, I
somewhere.
did.
Friends with benefits.
No, that's a taboo. You have your girlfriend at the same school. Yeah, you don't know that.
Well, I had one particular one, and when she and I broke up, and it's a funny story behind it. We broke up, and she went to some other guy same day. My sister saw it, and they came running and get me out of class saying, "Hey, your sister down here
She had a
fighting,"
backup.
and she didn't realize we had broken up. Yeah. And I said after the end, I don't want no girls at my school.
You don't never have a girl in the same school. You don't never do that. You always have them out, and you don't have them at close schools either.
Well, put it like this: my dad shared with me when I was coming up, and trying to see who I was gonna date. My dad said, "Son, you don't play where you pray."
Show it on.
I like that.
You know, so
Okay.
Pray here,
There
go
you
play
go.
over there.
I remember I had this boyfriend in high school, and I was walking down the hallway, and these friends of mine came around the corner, like, you know, such and such is down there. He's walking such and such. I had heard these little rumors about him talking to this other little girl. And they was like, he's walking with this girl, he's carrying her books and so on and so forth. And
Oh, wow.
So I went around the corner and I actually saw him because, you know, my thing is I don't want to listen to rumors.
Mhm.
So I wanted to see for myself. So I went around the corner and I saw him and I watched him do it. I watched him walking her to class with her books and everything. And I'm looking at him. So he comes around the corner, he sees me. And he's like, oh, I was just helping her. It's nothing. Da, 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 da. I was like, so what's going on here? We're supposed to be going steady, blah, 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 blah. You know, I broke up with him that day, and that boy called my grandmother, called everybody. When I left Oklahoma, he was still calling my grandmother's house like 5-6 years later, trying to find out where I was, what I was doing. And I was like, once I break up with you, that's it.
That was vice versa with me.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I was.
What you was calling their grandma?
Done
No,
deal.
They were calling your grandma.
Yeah.
They was calling Aunt
I was like, I don't go backwards. It's a done deal for me. That's it.
All right, so did we figure out?
Yeah.
We understood, right?
Oh, yeah, we're
Like,
good.
X is X for a reason, right?
We're
Yes,
good.
there's
Regardless
a
of what the
reason.
reason is, they're X for a reason.
We're good.
And you can still get back together with them, but figure out that reason first.
Maybe.
That's
Depends
what
on
happened
the
to me
reason.
too, Luna. What my wife was saying. My wife was also my first girlfriend ever. She was first of everything. And after 3 years, I left alone. I wanted to play the field. And then some 15 years later, I just ran into her.
Got tired of playing the field.
And we got married.
All right, then. See?
Wow.
So
it's-
there was a
15
reason why.
years.
There was a reason why, and then after the reason has been flushed out, and y'all figured it out, y'all got back 15 years later. So now that's no longer the reason.
Right.
But actually, the wife I have, my wife, it was like she was moving out of Carter District. No, she was moving out of Kimber District coming to Carter. We were moving out of Carter District coming to Kimber. And
Y'all just passing in the night.
yeah, and some 30 years later, it's like we've been knowing each other for a long time.
Wow.
Yeah, because I made a statement one time. I wish I had her first, and
But then you
lady
won't have the
told-
daughters.
And I told with the daughter.
Just bring them with you.
I said to an older lady, and she looked at me. She said, she didn't say Reverend. She said, "AD, y'all wasn't ready for each other.
Sure would.
Now you are
Right.
ready for
How long
each
have
other."
you guys been married now?
Going on a great completion of 7 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's-
So we've been married longer than you.
yes.
What?
Yeah.
We still learning.
And we still learning,
Well,
right?
let me share this with you, and hopefully somebody will catch this.
Catch it.
You know when you stop learning each other,
When do we stop learning each other?
When you die.
Never.
when one dies,
Mm-hmm.
then you start reflecting
Mm-hmm.
back on that individual,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the small things that you reflect. You
Sure.
know,
We're reflecting this morning.
and you know,
I mean,
really,
seriously.
yeah, seriously, because I often my wife don't like talking about death, you
You
know,
don't need that.
Oh, yeah.
and but you
But it's
know,
part of
it's
life.
inevitable. It's
Mhm.
coming.
It's coming.
So when I was just looking at her doing little things around the house, which that does not frighten me because I know how to keep house. You know, I know how to keep house better than a woman. I'm like my boy, I know how to cook too.
Well, come on
But-
over.
Hold on, wait,
Come
don't
on over.
don't act like I don't.
but the point that I'm making here is we need to start paying attention to each other and appreciating each other. I posted something on my page earlier where it stated people don't know they appreciate you until they lose
To
you.
lose
Oh,
you.
yeah.
You know, and then it wasn't,
You don't know what you got until it's gone.
you know, because when a person tell you they don't want you anymore and you hit that door
Mhm.
and you turn the corner, you go down the road, get on the freeway,
your grandma
and
used to
move
tell you,
on. You know,
It's time to turn the corner.
Then you want to holler. Well, I didn't mean
Well, I
it.
didn't mean it.
Too
No,
late.
Too late. I holla.
See ya. You know.
All right. This has been 41 Sports Talk Radio on 41radionetwork.com.
Hey, we still
What?
got some time.
Are we due?
8:40.
It's almost break.
I'm kidding.
8:42.
That was really good. Very good.
Yeah, we're gonna do 3 minutes. We're gonna break for 3 minutes. Come back at 8:45, and we're going to health.
Yes.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
correct.
see, I got you.
You all right?
This is what I do, like we in church.
Yeah, we
You know
in
what I'm
church.
saying? We talking about hell.
No, you're staying here for the hell.
I'm gonna hold the same
Stay
finger.
here for the whole session.
Matter of fact, they don't even hold a finger anymore.
Just walk. It ain't working. All right, this has been 41 Sports Talk Radio, 41radionetwork.com. We'll be right back.
Let's roll.
Uh-oh, come on, DJ.
You the director. You didn't get my job.
Oh, that song is killer.
Man, he just paused it.
Oh,
Do what?
just pause the music.
Yeah, pause it.
Put something
No way to get up on the
We got 30 seconds, y'all.
over here.
Oh yeah, the lemon pepper there, the DJ Lemon Pepper on the ones and twos. What are ones and twos? What does that really mean? On a 1 and a 2. What's a 1 and a 2? All right, we're back. 41 Sports Talk Radio on 411radionetwork.com. This is the time that we go and get healthy.
Yes, yes,
With
yes,
the doctor, what's
yes.
happening?
Thank you.
Oh, and I
For
gotta-
your health.
So, my family, are we ready for some spring cleaning?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
We are. Yes, yes. So, have we been doing well on our April challenge?
I ate a beet.
Yes.
I made him eat
I
a beet.
ate a beet last week. I haven't gotten it this week. Them things are so. Oh my God.
They nasty.
I made
Ooh,
ratatouille.
I beat an 8.
But see, listen.
I made ratatouille.
I beat an 8.
Lord help.
It's
Okay.
a vegetable dish. It's a French vegetable dish.
Mhm.
Okay, I ate some broccoli.
I had to find a dish
That's
that
one
you
of
can
our
put
fine
beets
foods.
in.
But what will help you enjoy your beets more is by doing a detox.
Oh, this is the
Uh-huh,
spring
uh-huh.
cleaning part, huh?
This is the spring cleaning, so we want to cleanse the body inside so you'll see a difference on the outside. So why do we need to detox? Remove toxins from the body. You'll have more energy. My favorite. Curb those cravings, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Reset your food choices.
Yes.
Because it's a great way of cleansing the palate. So, detoxing.
So no more burgers and
You know, you should. Now,
go to
let
Winfield's.
me just be totally
I have a
You want
membership
burger after
at
the show.
Whataburger.
You have a membership?
I have a membership,
Oh, wow.
and they know my order when I walk through the
They
door.
do, okay.
I'm going to Winfield's.
They still open?
Okay,
Yeah.
so let me tell you guys this. So when I was going through my battle with cancer, that was one of the things that they took off. Like that was not something I could eat, red meat or pork, high sugary things. It makes the body more acidic. So a good detox allows your body to be reset. How often do you do it? Now I do it with every season, at least 4 times a year. Coming through out of that holiday season, everybody should be on a Daniel fast.
I ain't detoxing
I
for
like
48
Daniel
years.
fast.
Because
That's fruits and
honest-
vegetables, right?
It is. It's mainly fruits and vegetables. You can get your protein in when you look at plant-based protein. You can get enough protein in for your body, your muscles. So, yes.
I haven't
It's-
detoxed in 48 years.
You haven't detoxed that long.
There might be some stuff up in that
But
bag.
you
So
45.
when you think about all the things you've eaten during, especially I'm gonna hit the holiday season because all the office parties, you have popcorn, you have all that sugary
Ham.
stuff, you have exactly the ham, you have all that stuff that's built up. Then you're in air environments where it's smoke
The
and
honey
all that
baked
other
ham.
stuff. Your body, if you're there, that stuff is coming inside your body.
But see, let me share something with you here.
Oh Jesus.
Now,
Teach your friend.
hey, Christmas dinner, I get 2 of them.
Okay.
Because I'm going to my in-laws
Mm-hmm.
and then my family.
Right, right.
Yeah, you got to.
And I have women in my family will be,
That can cook.
they will be highly upset
Mm-hmm.
if you do not eat their food.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, you carry 3 or 4 plates home.
Oh yeah, because
Let me
you got to
tell you
have
something.
stuff for the next day.
Let me tell you something.
For weeks,
After battling certain things, I'm gonna hurt your feelings.
Right.
I will hurt your
For
feelings.
your own health.
So my family knows when I come, I'm probably gonna bring something. You doing something on the grill? I'm probably going to bring some of that, and I'll share it. And that's still a way for me to
You don't have to share
expose.
with me.
When you come to our house, we have lettuce for you.
You know what? I eat more than lettuce. I do. I eat a lot of seafood. I don't compound any
Sure.
shellfish because iodine, again, of course, builds up in your system, causes inflammation, and will cause your joints to ache. So you still have to be mindful of, my combinations and how I put things together.
Are you a vegan?
More pescatarian.
Well, and I'm just joking with you, really.
No,
I do watch what I eat. I used to weigh like about 225,
Mm-hmm.
almost 230.
What?
Yeah, serious.
How tall are you?
5'5". And when I became a diabetic,
Mm-hmm.
not on the insulin, but doing the pill,
Mm-hmm.
I did give up a whole lot,
Mm-hmm.
especially fried food.
Yes.
I still have my burger at least once a week, fried, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. Coke every day.
So he ain't getting a jack.
But no, seriously, I had, it's all about eating in moderation.
Mm-hmm.
You can almost have anything you want, but it's just the moderation of it. I'm gonna show you something. Every year for my birthday, either my aunt or her daughter would make me a lemon icebox pie for my birthday. All right. Without I think it might have been maybe 5 years since I had one. Because the pie was just for me. Usually, and like my mom on Thanksgiving, it's 8 of us that was living. She would actually cook each one of us our favorite dessert.
Sounds like my grandmother.
So the cherry pie was mine by myself. Okay, so those are 2 things that are now gone. Now my aunt that I was talking about the lemon icebox pie, she make a heck of a German chocolate cake from scratch. I'm talking about from scratch. So you got to eat in moderation. Okay, give me just a little cone out of it.
Okay, and we can
You just
we
reminded
can
me,
really
yeah,
define
that's my
moderation
grandmother
too,
made me
though.
Right.
We can really define moderation.
Yeah, what is moderation
I mean,
like? Once a month?
really,
actually,
You can treat yourself once a month,
yeah,
really, because you have to still take into account that bread you eat with your burger.
right.
That's still gonna break down to what the body interprets as sugar. So
Right.
it's not like, oh, I'm just eating a burger, but what is the body saying this is internally? And we still have to take account for that. And what does it transition the body to? Does it take, because the body is naturally at a 7.35-ish on the pH.
Right.
So the more of the bad stuff, the Cokes, the Diet Cokes, that stuff, oh gosh, it's so
Diet
horrible.
Coke.
If you eat
Said no diet, just straight
cereal,
Coke.
all those things take your where you naturally are at the 7.35 range,
Right.
slowly downward. And then that places you more in an acidic environment for your body. Your body is now more disease prone to a lot of things, especially cancer. It has to be at a higher pH because disease can't survive in a higher pH.
Okay.
It chokes out everything, including cancer.
Well, how
So
can
I don't-
raise that pH?
Lower that hamburger.
Let me share this with you. And I'm a former athlete, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I think what hurt me the most and when I finally sat down. And that's one thing you cannot do to the body.
You gotta
Yeah.
keep moving.
Especially when it's used to moving
Mhm.
all the time. My best man, he got me into playing racquetball.
Mm-hmm. Very good. That's
Yeah.
good. That's
Now,
really
what
good.
I need to get back is me and my wife used to walk 5 miles a day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, schedule have changed, caused us not to walk together. You know, I would still do it, but when my dog died, I didn't have no reason to get up and go walk anymore because I was walking out.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
but, you gotta find some kind of excuse to get up and move around.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
but
take her out dancing.
He can't
you're
dance.
right.
I mean, that increases not only, that's a little bit of cardio in there,
Right,
but that
right.
increases intimacy too, because there's that connection and compression that happens when you're
Connection
doing.
and compression.
You know, when
I
you're.
don't need no excuses.
No excuse. I'm just.
I don't.
That's already built in.
That one got me put on punishment in 8th grade. The principal called the pastor saying, "Rev, you know what your son was doing at the school day?"
I was exercising my right to compress and
And connect. Okay.
Yeah, he put some pressure on, right? But no, I get what you're saying, really. Yeah, and you know, as preachers, especially Baptist preachers, the way we preach,
Mm-hmm.
we and seriously, every time I get through preaching,
Yes.
if I don't have a 3 o'clock service to go to, I go home, shower, and go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
I take at least a 3 or 4 hour nap, and then I wake up and eat. That's bad.
Good.
You know, because understand something.
Wake up
When
at
I go,
work.
if I go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the afternoon,
Oh.
well, it might be 6 or 7 o'clock when I wake up.
Mhm.
that's
I
true.
get up and eat, and a couple more hours. Guess what I'm
Go
doing?
back
Going
to
right to
sleep.
I'm
sleep.
going right back to
Yeah,
bed.
that's not
Can't do
good.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
As preacher pastor, I watched this and I wonder, cause my grandfather, he was a diabetic, but he wasn't diagnosed, and it messed up his heart.
Yeah.
My dad was a diabetic.
Mhm.
Okay, preachers run, and don't take care of themselves.
Mhm.
Right.
They don't, you know. We have a health ministry at our church,
Mm-hmm.
and our nurses are excellent, and they would check on individuals, and they would ask me, say, "Reverend, have you eaten anything?" I said, "No." She'd hand me a pack of peanut butter and crackers, you know, something to kind of
Mhm.
put back, and you know, they're real good about with my uncle, the pastor. They take very good care of him,
Mhm.
you know. But you're right. You just gotta. I ate well before I got here. I had a chicken quesadilla.
That's what I had before I left here.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I
chicken.
had. Chicken.
Yeah, I made it. My wife. I mean, you know, I helped
Homemade.
cook it. My wife made it
Mm-hmm.
and brought it to me. So you know, the only thing I guess bad with that was the flour tortillas.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, Okay.
Still, I mean, it's not like you're eating a whole package of it. You know, you can have.
Oh, I
some of that.
can.
Well,
Hey.
but I definitely wouldn't recommend it.
I had some rice.
And the cheese, because when that stuff is churning in your GI, it
Mhm.
becomes sticky, pasty,
Right. Okay.
and then the cheese and the dairy is going to slow that sticky stuff
Mhm.
process in there, and you want to have your system really flushed out.
Man, all you gotta do is wash it down with some vodka. You're good to go.
Well, no,
Water.
sir.
Alcohol
Water.
burn up everything.
No, so
Water.
I really recommend. I mean, and then also for skin, people with acne, really when they control their diet,
Mm-hmm.
the acne clears up. Diet is so important. It improves your skin because the hair, skin, and nails are going to do exactly what the blood is doing. So whatever is stirring up in your blood, that is what's going to go on. So we have to go in there and really think about detoxing the body. I do it at least 4 times a year. Sometimes I get a little crazy, but Daniel fast, I do it twice a year to reset. I mean, totally reset my body.
I do an AD fast.
Okay.
That's what I call it because
What's 80 fast?
well, basically
At
like
dawn?
well,
At dawn?
no, my wife and I we eat nothing but vegetables for the whole month.
Which month?
Whatever.
Oh.
We just don't fast once a year.
Oh, okay.
You know, we'll fast once a month.
Wow.
You know.
But your detox and your fasting, you know, of course, the difference is
Right,
for
yeah,
your spiritual,
yeah.
for your spiritual
Right.
reason.
Well, and I was gonna ask you, what do you use as for a detox? And don't tell me beets because my mom used to try to get me to eat beets.
It ain't happening.
20 years old, and
But-
it's not gonna work. I just take a
Have you
beet.
tried it? So okay, here's the thing. If you can go in with a good detox afterwards, 30 days of a good detox, you will be able to, when your palate and everything is reset, trust me, you will choose better things because you have retrained the body, the taste buds.
And you know what? You so right. I did that one time,
Mm-hmm.
and for a while,
Your
I
body
was
was rejecting it, wasn't it?
in a sense. And after I got past,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand now why people are addict one way or another.
Yes.
You know, but because you will go through that withdrawal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like this. I'm an Oreo cookie freak. Okay, I wake up in the middle of the night. I wake up in the middle of the night, go to the kitchen, grab me about 4 or 5 cookies, cut them back in the grease, eat cookies. And my wife said, "What is that crunch in?" I said, "You got ass." She wake up in the morning, straighten up the
Just
bed,
crumbs
and
everywhere.
Be all over the place. You got the cream all over the pillow and everything.
Oh, that's you, okay. But but the point I would ask you, what do you use for detox?
For me, when I'm not on the Daniel, I do the Daniel twice a year. But any other time when I just want to reset, I avoid fried foods, fatty foods, refined bread products, and I don't do sodas or anything anyway. So all that stuff is totally eliminated.
Well, number one, I don't have any bread in the house right now. We ain't had a loaf of bread in the house for probably about 3 or 4 months. Now, that 2-liter RC in my refrigerator.
Man. RC.
RC Cola.
Royal Crown.
Hey,
Any brown sodas are not
I
are
know.
terrible for your bones as well.
I
You
understand, you know.
You
I treat
should
myself
really-
to Pepsi every now.
See, you
Every
know.
really
now
should.
And I let it go in the freezer.
So I do want, and I don't want to scare anybody into doing
I'm scared
anything,
already.
But remember, 1 in 3 women are diagnosed with cancer. 1 in 2 men are diagnosed with cancer.
Dang,
1
okay.
in 2 men.
1, 2.
Yes.
There's 4 of us in here, so we're gonna flip a coin.
And so
You go first.
1, 2,
5 behavioral risk again.
You said
that
one.
are-
You said one.
One
every
and
two-
one,
One
one
and
and
two
1 out of
men.
2.
Okay.
Mhm.
No,
I'm one, you
no.
1, 2. 1, 2.
No, we
So it's the one or the two that's diagnosed?
Well, and a good detox will help rid your body of those toxins. A good detox.
Well,
No Popeyes, none of all that iced tea.
And a Whataburger.
And not the Whataburger.
wait a minute now.
Wait a minute now, hold up now. That's where we cross the line now.
Wait a minute. I go to Whataburger, get my burgers and fries, and I go to Chicken Express to get my tea.
Oh, Jesus.
We got
Okay,
the
and how
sweet
often
tea.
are you doing it?
Man, kid, you been too nosy. Man.
Phyllis says she
Okay.
drinks hot water with lemon and turmeric tea every a.m.
Amen.
Turmeric?
Yes. Turmeric.
But now, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Turmeric. And I'm gonna tell you something where
I have bread apple cider vinegar
Mm-hmm.
with organic honey that I
Okay.
get from Ann Food Store,
Mhm.
and I do a squeeze of lemon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mhm.
and I do that.
But you
every
can't
2
go.
months.
But you, Jesus.
Y'all are just ruining my whole diet.
Man.
I can't go to
But
Wingfield now.
listen. You can't go in there and do this here after you've had all the bad stuff. You still have damage that happens along the way. Your body still takes a hit. And I made that mistake, and I don't want you guys to hear me. I made those mistakes. That's why I am such a militant about it, because I was a runner. And I thought I could eat and drink and do whatever I want because I was a runner and I could run it off. But no, the damage was still done.
Not saying healing wasn't going to take place. Healing, I'm looking at you.
Oh,
I
I'm
see that
good.
healing has
7-year
taken place.
cancer free in July.
So yeah,
How were you
so
diagnosed?
You know the
How did
funny-
you find out?
The crazy thing is because thank God I was a runner.
mhm.
And what happened is that I was doing boot camp, assistant in boot camp, and we would run, and I would never get my second win. And that's very troubling for a runner that never gets their second win. So I continually run. We thought, okay, asthma run in the family, so they gave me some medication that actually made me feel a little bit better. But as time was going on and on, that tumor was in this left mediastinum area. And then it was compressing between, of course, you know that you have the heart here and the lungs. And so eventually it just started pressing on the lungs so bad that honestly, I got to this point like I didn't want to breathe because it was so pain, and death seemed like the easiest thing that will cut that pain.
Wow.
So after I had some emergency thing, they gave me this shot that helped open me up and breathe just a tad bit, but my breathing was so labored and it hurt so bad. So we took some x-rays. And the x-rays were not good, of course. So when my medical doctor kept calling me and I was like, hey, Dr. Rollins, you know as well as I know, you don't just get on the phone call, you know, and constantly call me because Carolyn should be calling me. And he's like, oh, no, I just want to, you know, just send you over and have some more tests run. So we'll run a CAT scan and stuff. So I went and I did that. Coming out, the girl said, at least we're going to catch it early. And I said,
Catch
well,
what?
what are we
Catch
catching?
what?
What are we catching early?
Exactly. I said, well, what are we catching early? Show me. She was like, oh, no. Your physician would tell. I said, no, I heard it first here. So what are we catching early? I can't diagnose. Well, you didn't already
You already told me you catching something early.
We catching something early.
Wasn't the football, was it?
And it was not. And so the differential diagnosis was so many things, including sarcoidosis. And, but they sent me to oncology or pulmonologist. So I went there first because I wanted to rule out the cancer. So I went to oncology. I was not really the typical symptomatic cancer patient. And so what they did was they was like, oh, you're released. Go ahead over to a pulmonologist. So I was like, yes, I dodged a huge bullet. And so I did several tests with them. And he was like, honey, you have to go back to oncology today. And so they had to go about the diagnosis in a very untraditional way. They tried to do a thyroid biopsy because the right lobe was, of course, had cancer in it. It was not thyroid cancer, but it was how the lymphoma was spreading.
Right.
And so after that, well, that, you know, they still couldn't get enough cells, so they did something called a mediastinoscopy. They go in, make a little incision right here. Oh, and I had a nice Dr. Dreamy before I went under. And oh, he was a bad black doctor.
Oh,
Best
my God.
cardiothoracic surgeon. Lord Jesus, shout out to you at Emory. I still love you.
Mhm.
And I digress. And so they extracted lymph nodes that was pretty much in this area. And every single last one of them came back with the Reed-Sternberg cell, which is indicative of Hodgkin's lymphoma. So we go from maybe it's no cancer to stage 3.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
And
Wow.
so that's how that diagnosis
Wow.
came about. So I'm serious about always ridding the body of toxins, keeping it at a minimum of, and you don't know what a 7.3 really sounds or look like, but your skin, your body will tell you what it looks like.
Right.
It really will. Once you start resetting, you will start to say, okay, this something is off a little bit, and you'll say, you'll start detoxing on your own. You'll start eliminating things because your body is saying no. Your body is rejecting because we have for so long have normalized some dysfunctional things that the body is saying no to. So listen to the body. The body will tell you, well, the body, even in the corners of your lips will tell you you are vitamin B deficient. So you have to pay attention. So, yeah.
Wow.
That's
We got schooled.
Well,
As usual.
okay.
We all
I need you
stop
on
it.
speed
We
dial.
all stop and don't say nothing. Everybody's scared.
So where you at, baby?
No, don't be scared, and don't.
She did say that she's not trying to scare the
Yeah, I know,
No,
but
I don't, but I want everybody to
Sister
raise
Doctor, I
their
need to call
level
you
of
so I know how to
consciousness.
detox.
Amen. You gotta be
Yes,
aware.
call me anytime. I'm always available, and we
But
have transfer.
And check out her on social media on Thursdays. Her tips and
Yes.
stuff will be out there on
But
Thursdays.
really, no, I keep plenty of the vinegar in the house with warm water. I sometimes put in hot tea, you know, just trying to, you know, I believe in detoxing. Because
We have to.
when like you said, listen to your body. When my body don't do certain things that I know it's supposed to be doing, I say, okay, let me step back and look at something here. You know, I'm a junkie on certain things. You know,
I mean, it's
jelly
about
bean. Yeah, that's it.
be patient with yourself
Reese's.
in the process. If you know you want a 12-pack of Diet Dr. Pepper, and you can
You
down
keep
them.
saying diet.
I mean, with regular Dr. Pepper, some
Diet.
Dr. Pepper, any kind of soda.
Like, I don't want
Any
no
kind
diet
of soda. But yeah, I would rather that you have the sugar, the regular Dr. Pepper, than a diet, because that is far worse for you, because your body can't process that. Your body doesn't know what to do with that. Your body doesn't know what to do with Blue Bunny, Imperial. If it's not real butter, no. I mean, your body doesn't know how to break that stuff down. So you really have to, don't cheat yourself in certain areas and say, hey, you know what? I got to retrain my taste buds, and I have to learn
And that's
to.
what's hard.
I know,
I know
but
it's not impossible,
it's not
but
impossible.
it's hard.
But do it before you're hit with cancer.
Right.
Do it before you're hit with
'Cause
a
you're gonna
thyroid
yeah,
disease.
something.
Do it before something tragic says you have no other option.
Right.
And
Right.
then that way you can be in control. You can control it. Think about when you were growing up. In my household, my grandmother, there was portion control.
Really?
Yes. Because we didn't have much. Didn't know we was poor, but we was
Didn't have
poor
much.
as all get out.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of portion control that was going on in the home, and I still carry that out, like portion control.
So do we have to remove all the lard we got downstairs?
Don't listen to him. We do not have lard in the
Well,
Can't have no
house.
chitlins, nothing like that.
We don't have chitlins for sure.
But coming up in my grandparents' house,
Mhm.
number one, I don't know if you remember this, but 90% of my grandfather's backyard was a garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to walk through his garden eating a tomato like I'm pulling a peach
See,
off of his tree.
And that is the
You see what I'm
best,
saying?
AD. That is the best.
You know, but it wasn't no portion control. My
Sure.
grandfather was the type of person where if you hungry, you can eat it.
Mhm.
You know, don't ask for something because you see
Right.
it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
like Uncle JC had that card.
it's no petite person in our family. We fine. Not petite.
Got a little meat on 'em.
So you know, and my grandmother, bless her heart, she been gone 2 years, about 2 or 3 years now. I see why my grandfather loved her. One of the reasons why, because when I went to live with her after he passed on, and I got older and working, and I had a shift change that when I would come home,
Mhm.
my grandmother had a breakfast steak with gravy and onion. You know, the rice and homemade biscuits
Right.
and you don't turn that down.
You sure don't. You sure don't. My grandma had the same
I
thing.
get that. I mean, I still do enjoy some of that too as well.
Mm.
But I just don't have it as often, and I understand too
I
that
don't have it
even
all
with
because my wife don't cook like that.
even when you
Saved
think
you.
about taking drugs and medication, it's always based on your body weight. So you don't, like for chemo, it's based on your body weight, and so the bigger you are, the more drugs they're pumping in your system.
Let me share
And
this
you
with
can gain weight going through cancer. I know
Right.
a lot of people, most people will lose weight.
Mhm.
My thyroid wasn't functioning all that well, so I was on the gaining end.
Okay.
So I had a lot of kind of things that was going on in a place, but you don't want to carry that weight. It's not good for the heart.
And basically, what I've started doing is getting online researching.
Mm-hmm. Too much
I don't
information.
like the medicine that the doctor prescribed me.
You know why?
It-
Listen, that's what they are trained.
I know.
The Food and Drug
Yeah,
Administration, I tell you guys, and I say this everywhere I go, I don't believe that they should be one entity. I believe that it's just too many hairs there
They
where,
trying to
you
make
know,
money for
that
themselves.
they to me cannot give you a good favorable
Diagnosed.
yes,
Something healing.
because
Yeah.
if they're still pumping bad food in our neighborhoods, there's
Right,
different
right,
foods.
Right.
Let's look at that, because there's socioeconomics that plays a part too.
Mhm.
You
So
know,
you telling
and
me I
then-
need to go far out north to eat?
No, I'm not saying go
grocery
far.
shopping?
You know
Go buy my
what? You know what I
vegetables?
wish that we would do as a black community
Thanks.
as
Grow our
well,
own.
really. And I mean, not
Grow our own.
Community
racist,
gardens.
but we had community gardens.
Yeah.
Everybody, you spoke of your grandparents having going in the yard and going.
And
in
really-
there to-
So those plants I got back there ain't good?
No, see,
see
them the
no
kind you be rolling up.
I didn't see no plants.
But no, seriously, I was talking to my mom about it not too long ago about growing an organic garden.
Mhm,
And even with that, you still gotta watch
mhm.
Yeah.
how you think it's organic when it's not organic.
Mhm.
It's not fully organic.
Watch
You
the
know.
pesticides.
You have to
Right.
watch the labels. You have to watch the labelings and what they're saying and stuff, and researching. Not only, I mean, the product itself. There's certain products you shouldn't have, and there's products that's okay in the U.S. but banned in Europe.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm just not so I mean, there's no Carey Congress, as I keep saying. So you have to be a master at your own health, because of course it's going to be easy to give you a pill and say, here you go, and let's continue to increase it.
Well, one
Well,
pill.
let's do this right here. We gone on.
Oh, we didn't win over. Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't give
That's
me a
my
call.
time.
Yeah. let's jump into. You got 4 quarters ready?
Yes, I do. Actually, I do. So you wanna?
Let's yeah. We way over time.
I don't even pay attention to time to say. I was enjoying the hell.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so as I told you in our conference call, the 4 quarters will be around Dez Bryant. I have a bonus question that's
Okay.
outside of that realm.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and dive into the first quarter. Are you hurt to see Dez go, or are you glad Dallas moved on from him?
I'm glad Dallas moved on from him.
Why is that?
Because had you kept him, you were going to inherit that $17 million contract, and then let's say you wanted to reduce his salary. What you're doing is you're spreading money again. So both ways, it was going to hurt you in the long run. And this Cowboy team here, I believe that they're trying to build for the future, and that wasn't going to be able to build for the future.
Okay. Shelly?
I hear what he's saying, but I'm kind of sad to see him go.
Why is that?
Because he's Dez, you know?
Oh, somebody else come in and throw up an X.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, I think that it I don't know, I think it was maybe a better way to do that. I think they could have made the offer and gave him an opportunity to say yes or no. I don't know. I think Dez has just he's been a part of the team for the last 8 years, and it's just hard to see somebody when they go. It really is.
It's so hard.
Yeah, it's
to
hard to
say
see.
goodbye to yesterday.
I like throwing up the X. You know, he brought that spirit. I mean, he's young still. You know,
29.
yeah, and you know he's gonna say some things and do some things, but I think that his spirit and his energy, brought some good camaraderie with the team, and maybe he should have said some of the things that he said about his teammates and about his coaching staff and things like that. But I mean, he's a spirited player, so he's emotional, and I don't know. I think he used to just like get us all pumped up and stuff, and I'm gonna miss that part.
AD?
I have mixed emotions. I really do.
Give a tissue.
Stop it.
Well, let me put it like this. I will hold my comments until after the season.
You can't do
Well,
that.
he's saying that for a reason.
Yes.
He's saying that for a reason.
Because if there's no productivity from the team, now who you gonna blame? Okay? Now, since Dez not gonna be there,
You can't blame Dez.
and you can't blame Dez, now I'm looking at the coaches. Because nobody else on the team is griping or complaining or pointing out what the fault is. So, if you ask me about, no, I'm not glad that he's gone. I wish he was still there. Because you got to look at it also, when he stepped on that field, that defense have assigned 2 guys to watch just him.
They used to.
Well,
They don't have to do that no more.
But I said when he stepped on the field.
That was like 3 years ago. He can step on the field now, and I've got one guy that watch him.
Nah. You might have that safety cheating a little bit. He's not cheating as much as he used to.
I can attest to that.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But on the other hand, he did bring some type of atmosphere, positive, to that outfit. You see, because okay, all right, let me just put one guy on him. All right, then they're gonna sneak by him. And what do you have? 6 points.
Unless you're in Green Bay and you don't catch the ball. Oh, that was a catch, wasn't it?
It was a catch.
Boy.
Yeah,
You like stirring that
That's
pot.
terrible.
We ain't gonna get into that right
Well,
now.
if you're in
Right,
Denver
right.
and just had the ball go right through your hands and call it
Well,
interception.
well, was that lost in Denver because of Dez?
No, that was called a whole bunch of people.
Thank you. So
Exactly.
All right.
Tawana?
It's always bittersweet, but I feel like this is part of his process, though. I really do. I think this is a good thing for him, that it should teach him. But after seeing that Twitter headline, just keeping it real, and no, because you have to learn when to refrain from voicing everything.
Right.
Because you think it don't mean you should
You
say
gotta
it.
say
Right.
it.
Exactly.
And that draws a negative, that's negative energy to where you're going, and people are like, well, do I really want to be in that space with him? I think hopefully, and a lot of times these athletes don't have a good support system to say, hey, you know what, you can have your antics, but know how to rein it in, watch your delivery. But I am sad that he is gone, but I'm more grateful in being able to extract, wherever he's going, this is part of his process. He will be able to reflect and say, hey, you know what, Dez is this common denominator in all of this. So what is life? What is God teaching me about me in this moment? And I pray that he can take something positive from it and not be bitter and say, hey, you know what? They actually did you a favor.
Mm-hmm.
They actually did you a favor. We never supposed to take anything personal though.
Right.
No.
Because it's business.
Mm-hmm.
No, but not only because it's business, but it removes you from needless suffering.
Needless suffering. That's a good
And
one.
all things work
Needless
together.
suffering.
And that
Well,
stress that's on the body.
That, you know,
And he can't go to Winfields.
We don't see the whole picture.
No, you don't. And you
We
never
don't.
will.
We're not behind.
Yeah,
the
you
scenes.
never will.
Right.
A good friend
God
of
could be
mine,
weaving some
Tom
things
Jordan,
together
used
for
to,
him.
used to have a segment on his show. Tom Jordan used to have a segment called Hidden Racism. And I know that's opened up a whole new chapter there.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
but, you know, let's face facts.
All right.
Wow.
Second quarter.
Second quarter, Tawana. How can Dallas repair this?
Oh, well, listen, they have already done their dirt behind the scenes, so repairing it, I'm not quite sure because they already had the two his two replacements before his departure. I believe that they did what was best for them.
Mm-hmm.
So is there any repairing? They may not have to repair, you know, is part of what they needed to go for. You're not obligated to keep a certain person in your space. Even
Right.
us, we're not required. You're responsible for the energy and the people that's in your circle. So if it doesn't move you forward, you should be able to be mature enough to prune somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Prune.
Yeah.
Like the beats.
Well, and on that, piggyback on that last part right there,
Mm-hmm.
if they're not intelligent to remove you, you need to be intelligent to remove yourself.
Yes.
You better
yes.
come with it.
You see what I'm saying?
You better come with it.
That's true.
And when you've been kicked so many times,
Yes.
well, okay, do I want to continue to be
Kicked
kicked?
or
Right.
just
Do I want to
leave.
walk
Right.
away?
Right.
You know,
And you will always want to walk away.
always.
You don't negotiate your self-worth,
Right,
your
right,
self-value,
right,
or how you
right.
love yourself.
Because I don't care right or wrong, they're gonna always win.
Yes.
And on this side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I think he'll be all right, especially when he go to Washington.
Or the Giants.
Go to the Giants. Come on, go to the Giants.
No.
Go to the
No.
Giants. Come
No.
on, Dez.
I want actually.
gonna
I'm a diehard Cowboy fan.
He gonna wind up in Cleveland.
Win or
Just
lose,
mad.
I'm a diehard Cowboy fan, but I want to see if he can make a point. I want to see if he can prove it.
He gonna wind up
You
in
get what I'm
Cleveland.
saying? I
Go to
really
Green Bay.
want to
Dude.
see that.
Aaron
You
Rodgers.
know. Oh no.
No, we don't want that.
Yeah.
No, and plus he wouldn't flourish in Green Bay because he can't play in cold.
Who can?
Well, I mean, Green Bay plays better in cold than anybody. I mean, you know,
But
Buffalo.
No. You didn't understand the question. Who
You told me to go to Baltimore. It's cold in Baltimore.
no, it's cold in Cleveland too.
I know. You send them down
Buffalo.
these cold places. It's cold in New York.
Minnesota.
Shelley, your turn. How can Dallas replace this?
Repair.
I'm sorry. How can Dallas repair this?
I'm kind of with Tawana. I don't think that. I mean, I think they've already done the repair work before they even let him go. I think they already had their ducks in a row. You know, ready for the decision that they made. I think they already were ready. You know, they crossed their I's, dotted their T's. I mean, dotted their I's and crossed their T's. I think they already. I'm sleepy. I think they already had those
Dyslexia.
things in order, and I am dyslexic. That's not a joke. I am dyslexic, but I think that they already. I am numbers and stuff like that. I sometimes transpose. He may be this way now, but I think that they.
Yes, you think I'm Denzel.
Yes, come on with it.
Have
Vision
mercy.
On him.
But too
On
short, though,
me.
for sure.
For you
But yeah, I
Denzel
think they
pills.
already had it already in place, so there's not much that they have to repair. I mean, there may be some things, maybe in the media, some questions that they have to answer. But like I said, I think they already know what to say, what to do. Stephen Jones is a very smart businessman, and I think the steps that he's taking to build the team, You know, he's looking forward. He's looking towards the future, and so the decisions that he's making, he's looking backwards and forwards at the same time. Okay, what have we done in the past to do this so that we can get there again? You know, we had a great team back then. We won Super Bowls back then. We won championships back then. What can we do to build this new team to get back to the champions that we were? We got 5 rings. We need 5 more. You know, so I think that he's looking at all these things. So as far as preparing the team, that he's already in the process of doing that.
How can Dallas prepare to say?
I don't think they need to repair. I think they're like she said. I think they're going to the position of we're going to move forward. That's why we don't want to keep a Dez because that means we're going to have to stretch out his contract. We're going to have to backload his contract. We still got to pay Tony Romo money. You know, we got dead money on these contracts. We need to get rid of that dead money. So I don't think they need to do anything to repair. It happens in business all the time. People get fired. People get cut. People get laid off. It's just what business is.
Okay.
And the timing is the timing. It's whatever it is. That's just what happens.
All right, Cedric, quarter number 3. What is more likely? At 29 years old, Dez Bryant's skills have eroded, or Dak Prescott is not good enough to get him the ball?
I think more. Okay, so what we've seen in the past is that his skills have gone down. He's started catching less balls. You know, he's matter of fact, this past year he was 678 yards total receiving yards. That's not good for a number one wide receiver. That's terrible. Actually, that's like a number 2 or number 3. That's like Cole Beasley numbers or something like that. So you know, no, his skills have already either his skills have diminished or he has to be that receiver that a certain quarterback has to get him the ball. I mean, he can't get separation. That's why you got to go out and get a separation coach, which I still don't know what that is. But you got to go out and get. You got to go out at 29. You got to go out and do different stuff you should have been doing when you first got into the league. You know, and why do you think he went to go get a receiving coach or a separation coach? Because he knew the writing was on the wall. I want to show the Cowboys, but I'm trying to work hard at this. So he went out to go get him a coach to show them, look at what I'm doing. You know, so he knew what was going on. I think his skills are I don't think it has anything to do with Dak because Dak is only in the second year. You know, and Dak is not a quarterback that throws in tight coverage. You know, Dak doesn't like interceptions. You know, and then when my number one receiver, is dropping balls and causing interceptions, then I don't know. I've got to go somewhere else.
Okay. Shayla, what is more likely? At 29 years old, Dez Bryant's skills have eroded, or Dak Prescott is not good enough to get Dez Bryant the ball?
Dez has eroded. His skills have eroded. You know, as with most players, when they get to a certain age, I mean, it happens. It's life.
Okay.
You know, your skills are not going to be the same as they were. And I think he got used to the type of play that Tony Romo had. You know, and Dak is certainly different from Tony Romo in how he throws. And like Cedric said, he don't like interceptions. You know, and so if he continues to throw to you and he continues to get plays that are not safe, like I think Dak is a safe quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not a risk taker. So if me throwing to you is going to be a risk, I'm not going to do it. So then, you know, Dez is definitely going to erode because you're not going to be getting anything. You're not going to be getting any catches because you're not in the place to get them. And even though you have a separation coach, it's a little bit too late. You know, too little too late.
AD?
I think really it still has
Eroded.
blemish a whole lot. What he's doing, like Cedric was saying, what he's doing now, he should have did that coming into his rookie year. To explain what a separation coach is for Benchwarmer.
Someone to teach you to separate.
Actually, because a receiver needs to know what can he do to break away from that defense.
Right.
You know, to come up, but he's not doing that enough.
He's not doing that.
Where the quarterback can be comfortable giving him the ball, you know, and kind of going back, if sometimes good quarterbacks do take risks.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
And it's just the flip of the coin
Right.
on which way it's going
That
to
just
go.
is not there yet.
You know,
And it's where you take your risks. Too.
now, now if he had Michael Irvin,
Yeah, I throw it to you all day long.
Yeah, you know, and then on top of this, you know, somebody make me mad. I ain't gonna pass you by.
Pass you the ball.
Well, yeah, that too.
You sit on the sideline all day long.
And understand what you see
You
in
over
the
there talking that
game.
smack.
What we see in the
You ain't
game
nothing.
is what been happening on the practice field.
That's true. That's true.
And if you on the practice field ain't doing jack, then
You know, come
Yeah.
on, you know, and
Got a lot of lip and no action to back
you
it
know, I love talk noise, but I know how to back it up though.
yeah. Is he remind you of T.O. now? Because T.O. used to drop balls. T.O. used to drop balls at the end of his career.
Yeah.
He was,
And he used to talk a bunch of stuff, and he was in there
Right.
causing problems with his teammates.
Well, and if you notice, what, and
Right.
a lot of receivers, one play that it still hurt my heart today with Michael Irvin when he went across the middle against Philly,
yeah, and got it.
and that ended
in his career, yeah.
You know, so
And
but,
Phil was on get him up, get him up.
yeah, and who threw the ball to him?
Was that? No, that was Aikman.
Was that Aikman?
I thought it was Troy Aikman.
Yeah, that was Aikman. Yeah.
And even at your bed, you know, you subject, but you know, but you got to produce.
You got to produce.
You gotta
Production.
produce.
Production's everything.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
So
pay
name of the game.
$175 just to park.
Right. And he was
Oh,
getting
Then pay
Lord.
another $200 to get
and
in the game.
he was getting paid almost $300,000 a ball. A caught for every caught ball, he was getting paid $300,000.
You mean to tell me?
Catch it.
Look at here.
You got to go.
I go out and buy me some Michael Jordan. Give me that extra.
Stickle.
See, that'll get you Waterburger.
Give me some sugar. They give me a couple of stores.
That'll get you some stores there. I catch 3 balls. That's $900,000.
I'm really not totally convinced that it has eroded because of course, well, I'm moving from Atlanta. I was
Everything was eroded in Atlanta.
everything.
The whole city was eroded.
But I would like to reserve saying he's eroded because what if Dallas, the environment had transitioned where he wasn't his best self and being productive and
So you think a different atmosphere might make him?
It may. We'll see what the second year look like. The first year, if he does very well, okay. Second year, he does even better. Then we know that it was a restructuring that he needed for his game. So I'm not totally.
Okay.
I'm not totally set that his skill set has been eroded.
Well, attitude plays a lot with that. Attitude.
Yeah, well, no,
mindset.
I'm the first one to tell you he has some maturity issue.
Attitude has a lot.
He has some maturity issue. You know, he doesn't know
So she's
what
gonna,
satisfaction is, but a mature person knows what satisfaction is.
she's gonna hold her comments to the end of the year, right?
No, because I really. So then I guess what I would say, I don't believe that it hasn't been even. There hasn't been enough to say that his skill set at the age of 29 has totally eroded.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And Dak was still trying to find himself in it.
He still is, yeah.
Second year.
Dak didn't do as well this second year either, but there were some changes that was that
That prevented him from.
yes. So it was like, the sophomore year was blah. I was like, but you can't compare first and the second year for Dak because it was
There's
two
two
different little
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
And then now the other teams have, we're gonna
They
watch
got
some
tape on you.
film.
When they got
Right.
film
We're
on
gonna
you, it's a
see
lot
what
more.
he's
Yeah.
doing. We're
Right.
gonna see his drop. We're gonna see how many this and
Mhm.
that and how his positioning is to better defend him. So
Wow.
let's see what he got this year. I'm a rep for Dallas, the Cowboys.
Just
Well, yeah, you in the city, so
Yeah.
And just a little quick
I'm always
rewind
rooting for
up, you was asking about
we roll with the
what can
dirty
the
bird.
Cowboys do to have a good season. Well,
How
You gotta
can
look
Dallas repair this, bro?
they're gonna have to look at just not only the players on the field, coaches. They gotta look at the top offense.
Well, I think they've already straightened out the top office.
I don't think so.
Stephen Jones is
I don't-
now
I don't-
running the team.
I
It's
don't-
not Jerry Jones.
No, but see, let me show you something.
And you got Will McClay too.
Yeah, it's not a one man show.
No, it's not. No, it's
It's
not.
not
But
a
you,
one man show.
but you got Will McClay, who, if you look at their draft choices over the course of the years, they've been drafting
Well,
very, very well.
Well, let me ask you a question. What team has Stephen Jones played on? I'm making a point here. What
Arkansas.
team- that was his daddy, man.
Oh.
When let me show you how the Cowboys really made it to those Super Bowls with Jimmy Johnson. Top position, but they listened to Jimmy Johnson about certain players. When Jimmy was coaching, you didn't know if that was first string, second string, or third string, maybe fourth string that was on the field because he had them moving in one common goal.
I understand that. I understand
And I don't see that in Gary.
that. I mean, the jury's still out with Gary.
Yeah.
The jury's still out with Jason
Definitely.
Garrett. It's you know, is this the year you need to go and do something, or are you gone? You know, the jury's still out. I mean,
And I think
I'm
that's
sorry,
what's going to be
Gary,
the next step for Stephen.
Yeah.
And now
is
he
what do you
gonna
do with
look at
Garrett?
that. Yeah.
What does he do with Garrett?
Definitely.
Because Jerry got him in that position.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then we
Jerry needed a yes man.
we cleared out
Stephen
all.
don't need a
Stephen
yes man.
Stephen don't need a-
He
He
yeah,
don't want no yes
we
man.
cleared out all the coaches. We cleared all the coaches out except Garrett Linehan and Rob Marinelli. You know,
And half those coaches just barely go down the field, walking down the field.
okay,
What's
All
your
right.
take?
Well, we gotta keep it moving.
yeah.
Fourth quarter. Are we all familiar with his sit down with James Slater about the ones that wear C and the Garrett guys?
The Garrett
We're all
guys,
familiar with that, right?
Yeah.
Do we know who the Cowboys captains are?
Jason Witten, I think Dak Prescott,
And Sean Lee.
and
that
Sean
played
Lee.
tackle.
Yeah.
Right. Orlando Scandal.
Well, he's out the team now.
Right, but he was a captain at the time all this supposed was going on.
So that's Gary's guy.
Then Dan Bailey
Dan Bailey, yeah.
and Tyrone Crawford.
Tyrone Crawford, yeah.
So if you had to name 3 people that were instrumental in his release, who would they be, Benchwarmer?
If they were talking about Garrett guys, I would say Jason Witten. And I say Jason Witten, but then I take that back because Jason Witten is not that type of person that would try to get someone released from your team. If you listen to a lot of his interviews and stuff like that, Jason Witten is not that type of person. So you say that because he was a captain,
I beg to differ with you.
and you think he is?
He had something to do because he and Dez got into it on the sideline a lot of times.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
but you know why though? You know why though, right?
Well, I understand why, but
They
like
tell
I
him-
said, Lord, if you make me mad,
They tell
if you ask me
Yeah, I
my
think
opinion about
They
the
telling
person that made
Jason Witten, I mean, it telling Dez, man, calm down. And shoot, he could, he would say Dak Prescott would be one of them. But I would say this right here. To this extent, Dak Prescott.
3 people, including the coaching staff.
Oh, then the coaching staff,
Definitely.
Scott Linehan. You know, because you called me out. You know,
Definitely
even Jason Garrett would be one of them. Because here's the deal: if we're making this a Dak friendly team, like we made it a Tony Romo friendly team, then we got to get guys in there that's going to be Dak friendly.
Right.
That's going to be there for Dak because this is not a one player show.
Are they actually saying the identity friendly?
No, they saying these.
Reason why I say ask that question is nothing friendly about football.
It's your lane.
If you go back, and I hate going back, but I can only go back to what's good. If you go back and actually look at that Cowboy team that was winning Super Bowl, that was some ruthless boys,
Oh yeah.
especially on defense.
Charles Haley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't nothing friendly.
But what they
about
did
them.
was they bought into a system.
Right.
And because they bought into that system, they started winning, and they were talented.
When you go back to talking about the system now, whose system?
That's Jason Garrett's system.
And Jason Garrett does not have a system.
I believe he does. I'm gonna tell you why I believe he does.
Maybe
Jason
in
Garrett.
Cleveland.
No, because Jason Garrett is going back to. Remember, Jason Garrett grew up in that system that they had. He grew up in those years. He's going back to what he knows. Okay, I know we needed a running game. I know we need a front line. This front line is almost looking like the front line back when the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. So he built the front line. Now we need a running game.
And they lost something when Zeke came back. Because they wasn't there for him when he came back.
What do you mean they lost something?
They didn't have the steps.
No, they lost a bunch of games before he got back.
But at the same, okay.
When Zeke came back,
and going back to what I first stated, it's more than just one person.
it is. You're right. But here's the problem with the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are at the time they were number one depending upon Zeke to not get suspended because they was turning like when that game against the Kansas City Chiefs, that they was churning. They were churning. Then they lose him, and then Tyrone Crawford. The same time they lose him, they lose Tyrone Crawford, and that got beat up so bad it's not even funny.
Well, and really to me, the Cowboys
Tyler
shot.
Smith.
Yeah, Cowboys shot themselves in the foot when they should have just took the penalty.
And
Maybe this is suspension early up in the season.
yeah, but you can't.
Because you cannot come back with 3 or 4 games left and think
still-
you're going to arrive.
But here's the deal.
Because everybody is starting to be at their peak now.
But here's the deal, though. If this looks like the same type of suspension that Tom Brady was getting, guess what? We're planning on taking Zach throughout the season. Remember, this is the same. Zach was not convicted. He was not charged. He was by legal standards, he was innocent.
Okay.
But Tom Brady was not innocent.
Well, the point is, okay, why did Zach get penalized? Get suspended?
Zeke?
Zeke. Yeah, why did Zeke get suspended?
Well,
You
he
want me to
got
tell you
suspended
why?
because he pulled the girl bra down at Green Bay at St. Patrick's Day.
That's not the reason why.
Because Jerry Jones.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And
Because the league was coming. This go way back before Zeke even got to the Cowboys. When Jerry stepped away from what was they marketing? He went with Pepsi.
Yeah. Oh, that was back when that was way back.
And the league was saying, this is our drink for the NFL. But
Cool.
Jerry was saying, y'all do whatever y'all want. This is my team.
Right. But see, you talking about something that was in early 90s.
But I'm just saying, if the momentum picked up.
Yeah, but that momentum helped build the league itself. What Jerry did helped
And the
build
league turned on Jerry too.
And
At the
I agree with you. They still at odds with each other.
Yeah.
But I'm saying this right here. I'm talking about player for player. Tom Brady, Zeke Elliott. When the Cowboys when the Cowboys do what?
One
Skin
difference.
color?
There you go.
No, I don't think it was skin
There you
color.
go.
I think it had something. I think it had something to do
There
with
you go.
one Jerry Jones, because Jerry Jones then went back and said, Goodell, I don't want you to have that contract. So I'm gonna fight you on that contract. Goodell said, okay, I'm gonna hurt you.
Well, it's a whole lot of ingredients here.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is something Tyrone says, but the NFL CBA clearly states Goodell is the judge, jury, and executor.
Right.
So and they should have never signed a contract like that, giving
Right.
him all that power.
Okay, who helped sign it?
The players and everything.
The main one. Who's the main one though?
The players and everything.
But who is the main one though?
No, it's the players and owners.
But who is the main owner?
Not Jerry Jones.
Yes, sir.
No.
He leaves out with them boys.
No, them boys. That's why them boys are trying to get him to. They're trying actually trying to get him to get off the Cowboy team.
Well, but the point that I'm saying now they are. But when it came time to do the commissioner contract, Jerry was there helping negotiating the contract for him. They created a monster.
All I'm saying is this right. All I'm saying is this right here. We can't. You say it's more than one person. It's more than one person in this whole thing.
I know.
And it's
but
not
I
just
just said
Jerry.
who was leading.
It's not just
I
Jerry.
didn't say he was by himself. I just said who was leading.
They had some issues there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying now we got a full year.
What do you want? His own private plane.
No, that's Goodell. That's Roger Goodell.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And
and
insurance for the next 20
health
years.
benefit for
Right.
his
Yeah,
own
yeah.
family.
And he got
and
it.
everything for the rest of his
For
life.
20 years, and he got it.
For the rest of his life. Okay, you know what this telling me? Y'all have a whole bunch of money
Mm-hmm.
that we don't know nothing about. We got a whole bunch of homeless folks.
Mm-hmm. You know that's
Hungry folks.
But that's in the NBA.
But I'm just,
league.
but I'm just sharing with you.
Just America, period.
Right.
Yeah.
That's America. Period. You know, my thing is this right here. To answer your question,
Linehan, Garrett, and
Linehan, Garrett. I would say Wooten.
that's one of the captains.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think Dan Bailey has that much power. You know, Sean
Neither
Lee
does
ain't got that
Sean
much
Lee.
power. Yeah. He getting hurt all the time.
Okay, real quick bonus question. This is an over and under. 70% of the NFL smoke weed. Over and under.
Okay, that they tell about or that they don't tell about?
Just in general. 70% of the NFL smoke weed. Over and under.
Are we including coaches and
The
owners?
NFL.
Over.
I'm gonna take the under on that one.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the under.
I'm gonna take the over.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna take the under. Because the NFL is cracking down big time on weed smokers. I mean, they are cracking down like ain't nobody's business on that.
You should not the paddle.
Huh?
They cracking down on. 'Cause, I mean, look at it.
It may be.
Sister Doctor would tell us that's a herb.
Does it depend on what state you in?
Cannabis.
Yes, it does depend on the stage that you're in. And
Yep.
if anybody knows me, I do not believe marijuana should be in the Schedule 1 drugs. We're talking about a Schedule 1, cocaine, LSD, heroin. Marijuana should not be in that.
Is brownies in that?
What?
Is brownies in there?
What you put in brownie?
You can.
Okay, that's herb, man. Come on.
Yeah, that's so hard. I mean, because I don't believe marijuana should be that. But now they may consider changing it because now you can say it has medical usage. That's the difference between the
The
Schedule
only
1 and
thing-
Medicinal.
The only team
Schedule
that don't
2.
test their players for marijuana,
It's New England.
no, Denver Broncos, cause it's
You
legal.
can't. It's legal.
It's legal in
Yeah, yeah.
Colorado.
But as a
It's legal in
proprietor,
California.
yeah, but as a proprietor of the NFL, the company, see, the Denver Broncos are part of a company, and because they're part of a company, their company is saying no,
I was
no
just
weed.
being, I was just being sarcastic.
Okay, you did a good job.
You want to over or under? Real quick. 70% of the NFL smoke weed.
That's so high. But I'm going to say, dang, 70%. Over.
If you taking over,
You said over.
Yeah.
So that
you
means
taking up the.
I took over.
You took over. You took the under. You taking the.
Does that include the cheerleaders too? Have you seen some of those cheerleaders?
what about the refs?
That's
Yeah, man.
hilarious.
Oh,
Oh, the refs. Oh, yeah. Okay, the refs. Yeah.
They screwed up
The
big
refs.
time.
Yeah. The
They
refs
screwed
do
up big
all
time.
up because they ain't getting drug tested.
I say it's under.
Okay, we got 3-2 here. Okay. That's it.
What do you say?
I'm taking the over. I think there's a lot more athletes in particular that are that smokes weed and know how to beat them when it's their time to drug test.
So how come Randy Gregory still?
Well, you just got some people. I'm not saying he is, but that's just not as responsible as they should be.
Oh, okay.
That's just my opinion
Just
on
not
that.
thinking clearly.
Right, not making sound decisions to get around that.
All right.
So that's it.
All right. Well, that's the over and under. That's the 4 quarters. Let's go around the horn real quick. We got 10 minutes left. Anything on anybody's mind? You know, the NBA playoffs are here.
Yes, and the Toronto Raptors have won tonight. They're up 2 on the Wizards.
Yes.
Yeah,
Come on,
Toronto's gonna be good. It's gonna be Toronto. I don't even know if Cleveland's gonna make it.
No, they're struggling against the
They are.
76ers right now.
Right.
They got some.
And it doesn't surprise me.
No. They playing? They're not playing 76ers. Miami's playing
I'm sorry,
76ers.
Miami.
They're
Cleveland
still-
playing. I'm sorry, I had my matchups. Cleveland is playing the. Is it the?
No.
No.
No. God, I
I
just
forgot who. I don't even have the schedule up. But Cleveland is struggling.
They're struggling. Yeah.
They're struggling. They're struggling bad right now. The 76ers look good. D Wade's back to his old self.
Oh, that's just one game.
I know it's just
That's
one
just one
game,
game.
but I'm just saying.
Pacers. Yeah.
Pacers.
Indiana Pacers. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Indiana
They
Lance
Pacers.
Stevenson.
are not no punks. They are playing.
Pacers. Yeah.
They playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They're
so Cleveland might not be in
They
there.
got to be 98-80 the other
Yeah.
night. I mean,
18.
just got blown.
Mhm.
But
And-
back to Miami, I know it was just one night, but D Wade, he just showing everybody he still got it.
You got.
If he's called upon.
That's in spurts.
I
That's in
know.
spurts.
I'm
And
just
but this is
saying.
the playoff series.
I'm just saying, you got a young 76ers team who have been in this spotlight for 16 years.
Mhm. And that ain't
Dealing with a team that's been there and done that in some parts of that roster, including Spoelstra and D Wade.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I hear
I'm
you,
just
but
saying.
I still
Don't be shocked.
I still
I'm just saying.
I still believe that Philadelphia will win the series.
Okay, and that's fair.
I still believe
That's
Philadelphia
fair.
will win the series.
And going to the West, the Timberwolves are a lot more to me than they're advertised. They're good.
Mm-hmm.
They gave the Rockets a run for their money for Harden did what he been doing all season.
Mm-hmm.
I think Houston will win the series, but I'm just saying it
Oh,
won't
yeah,
be easy.
Yeah, I've always my 2 teams in the finals are going to be Houston and Golden State.
Not in the
I mean, not the finals, but
the West Finals.
Western Conference Finals.
Okay,
yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah,
I
Houston
can
and
see
Golden
that.
State. and I'm looking for Houston to beat Golden State.
Wow.
I'm looking for Houston to beat Golden State.
Okay.
And I had Cleveland and Toronto, but I don't know if Cleveland can get past Indiana.
Indiana looking good. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I mean, it might be, and I mean, Philadelphia's looking good too.
Yes.
And if you get
And it's about time. They have all those number one draft picks on that team. I mean, come on.
And if they
It
get
should be good.
who's the name?
Who?
Embiid.
Joel.
Embiid.
Embiid.
Embiid. Yeah.
Keep saying in bed.
In
No, it's
bed.
not.